All right.
Right, and we live. What up, world?
What up, world?
Appreciate you tuning in. So today I got one of my favorite people on the internet.
Hi.
Shit you not, 100%. I'm not even joking. I got Pamas Davis with me.
Nice to be here.
About to be Pamas Ross.
Thank y'all for having me.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, it's a pleasure. I love having you here. How you been?
I've been great. I
Yeah.
have been diving into Forex trading
Ooh.
in addition to
Yeah.
my spiritual business that I run.
Yeah.
Giving spiritual advice.
Okay.
Good money in Forex.
Man, she
Blunt
was
though.
trying to. No, she got me on some shit. She had me in a Zoom call with a bunch of people, and I got lost and didn't know what to do. And then the Zoom call got disconnected. I was like, all right, well, I'm not smart enough for Forex trading. Sorry.
You are. I promise you are.
Is it easy or?
You give me too much credit.
It is watching patterns.
Okay.
If you can spot patterns, you can make money.
Okay.
So the market tends to stay within a certain structure. Once you can recognize that structure, from there you know where it's going to go and you know how to get your money.
Okay.
So the biggest part is learning those patterns and how to recognize that structure because market is going to always respect it.
All right.
Once you get that down pat, easy money.
Okay. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
definitely getting.
I see you post a couple things, and then you were showing like this is how much you made off of this.
Absolutely. I mean, how much time do we spend on our phone playing Facebook games or
A lot.
None.
Oh,
or
I do.
Candy Crush?
I do.
Or exactly. So in the
That's
same amount
Fred's
of
thing.
time.
I don't have time to do that. I'm always on the go. So
See, but on the go, from my phone, I can make 10, 20, even $1,000 depending on how I do it.
killing,
Sitting right here.
killing
That's
it.
crazy. Yeah.
Crazy, easy money.
Yeah. I'm about to get into that.
I'm gonna help
dope.
you out. I'm gonna help you out.
That's
Okay.
dope as shit. I'm kind of yeah. I'm just not that guy.
I think
I don't
everybody
know. Like
don't
I,
say that.
I'm the type. No, because I'm the type of dude that like I am good at certain things and I'm not good at certain things.
Okay.
So what I do is I believe in people who are good at certain things.
Right.
So I give my stuff to them, and I'm like, go
Right.
do your thing.
Right.
Yeah, it could blow up in my face or it could take off. You
See,
never
I'm
know.
the person where I'm like, I don't trust anyone to do anything for me. So you show me how to do it, then I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
So and I'm curious. Even if I don't use the skill, I want to learn it.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity alone, I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay.
I think you can do it. I think you're smart enough. I'm just saying.
I mean,
If you're
I
saying
think
you're not
you give me
smart
too
enough,
much
I'm gonna
credit.
take your word for it.
I mean, if you learn enough, I feel like you can get it, Chris. No.
here's the thing. For one, like, I don't have the time. That's the thing. That's the main thing. I don't even have time to do the podcast. Like, I am always on the go. You can ask Fred. Like,
Yeah.
it's nonstop for me.
Yeah.
I'm on a roller coaster of life. Just up and down, up and down. It's always crazy.
Yeah.
For two, I understand patterns, but at the same time, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I get into something. Like, I'm the type of dude, if I get into something, I give it, like, maybe a week. And if I ain't picked up on it, I'm done. That's it. I'm all right, look.
See, I refuse
I
to let
can't
anything
do
beat me.
the-
I look at it like a competition. You will not beat me.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's a good like attitude to have, especially when it comes to things like that.
Look at this. Put this trade in last night. Just 2 seconds. You got 2 seconds. You got 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Put this
let's
trade
see
in,
this on my
and
knowledge.
it's just slowly but surely racking up money. Slowly but surely racking up money. See that? It's Bitcoin. It's a drop. If I would have said it's gonna drop right there, easy $1,000 to catch that. Easy money.
You just gotta know when though. Like how
Exactly.
you can't. So
That's wild.
see, I got so many questions. We could be here.
And
Hours.
I got answers.
Well, that's what we're here for. I mean, we're here to get the answers from the person who's doing it. That's
Right.
that's our job. 'Cause I don't know shit about trading.
Yeah, I want to learn more.
Well, I'm new to it. I actually just joined I Am Academy,
Oh, okay.
a trading school
Yeah, I
who
know
teaches
that's
you
it.
those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it easy. Then they have at least 50 teachers.
Mhm.
All of them have their own teaching style. So one of those teachers is going to break it down to you in a way
Yeah.
that you'll understand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dope. I didn't
Yeah.
even know they had trading academies. Just learn something new.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So but I definitely want to take that money from trading and invest it into myself, into my spiritual business, because that's my main thing. That's like my calling.
Yeah.
Spiritual. Yeah.
No, I definitely
Absolutely.
understand that. So, what's the name of your podcast going to be?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I'm still deciding.
It'll come to you.
Yeah.
This one came to us. I was on the road and I was driving, and then like I just out of nowhere just hit me, and I was like, "Ah, that's a dope name."
That's
so I was
a
just
great
like, "Yeah, I'm gonna
name.
run that."
Okay.
Had to
Okay.
look it up, make sure it wasn't taken, and then
Yeah,
once
it
we
wasn't.
seen it wasn't taken, we
Absolutely.
was like, oh yeah, perfect.
Well, my business name is Aquimicorn because one of my specialties is astrology. My big three is Aquarius, Gemini, and Capricorn. So when you combine those three together, you get Aquimicorn. So, but I don't think I want to name my
Aquimicorn?
channel that.
Equimicorn.
Aquimicorn. I actually kind of
Oh.
bit off Gemini, off of Outcast with Aquemini.
Oh, okay, okay.
Just
okay.
added that
That's where I
corn.
heard. See, I was sitting down in my head. I'm like, I've heard,
I've heard
something like that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me
Yeah.
add
Nah,
that
nah, I get
corn
it.
on there. Bam. That's my business name because
Yeah,
I'm a
okay.
professional astrologist in addition to a professional tarot reader. So spirituality is it's the thing
Calling
that
card.
satisfies me. Absolutely.
I'm
But
not
you
a-
need money to pay for those things.
Right.
That's cool. It's cool that you have profession. I'm not a professional at anything.
I doubt it.
I just
mean,
I dabble in a
Truck
bunch of
driving. I say you a professional.
shit. Ain't nobody a professional truck driver.
Yeah,
it takes
true.
2 seconds for something to go wrong.
Yeah,
and you are
true.
no longer a professional.
Oh
Yep.
no.
Thing is like I don't know. Professional is such a strong word for me. So I like to think that I dabble in a lot of things, and I know certain. I know some things. Like I'm not a complete idiot. I know a couple things to get me by. I know enough to get me through a conversation. I can
Right.
make a couple people laugh.
Okay.
I'm cool. But
Okay.
a professional at like one thing, no, not really.
Not really.
Yeah, not really. Like
Yeah.
Fred's got editing and he does a whole bunch of stuff that he does. I would consider that like,
A
I wouldn't say a
professional.
professional.
I wouldn't say he's a professional
I'm-
at it, but he could definitely have a conversation with somebody
Right.
about it.
About it and feel
yeah,
confident in it. Okay,
Exactly.
sure.
Yeah, I don't do none of that. No, that's not me.
That's
I mean,
not you.
I guess entertainer. As I entertain people.
I'm gonna say if they say if you
My
spend what is it,
ideologies.
1,000 hours doing anything, then you're a professional.
Yeah,
That's the rule of thumb.
that's fair. But I'm a professional dad. I can say that.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I can't
That's
say
a
that.
real calling.
Yeah.
People making money off that. One of my favorite podcasts is the New Father Chronicles. He literally
Yeah.
just documented what it was like to be a father
Yeah,
for the
Dad.
first
Yeah,
time.
Oh,
yeah. I
wow.
thought about doing that a long time ago. I had a segment I was gonna do with a buddy of mine, but he backed out last minute. But I was gonna talk about what's worse is being a dad or being a stepdad. Like what's harder, not what's worse. But
What's harder?
yeah, it was a debate that we had going on for a while.
So what was your point of view on that?
Honestly, I think that being a step parent's harder
Why so?
because you're stepping into something you know nothing about. You don't know this kid. You don't know nothing about it. You're just trying to get to used to how they are, mannerisms. How they act. How they're gonna accept you. You know what I'm saying? And you accepting them, and it's kind of like moving in with a roommate you never met, except they're 6 and throw fits.
Interesting.
So you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't really know what you're getting into. Being a parent, you get to start from day one, but being a step parent, you're stepping into a situation and you don't really know a whole lot about it. It's a lot of stuff I went through with my stepkids. They love me now, but it wasn't always like that.
Oh, I'm sure.
And during the beginning,
It's
we
an
had a
adjustment
transition
period.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, my stepdaughter tried to kick me out the house one time. That's a true story. I swear to you, she was. We were sitting at the table, and I remember. All right, so to back up, so the way I ended up with their mom in the first place was we started talking, we were kicking it and stuff, and she had some stuff going on, I had some stuff going on, so we kind of just kicked it. It wasn't too much serious or whatever. And then later on, when it got serious, I was moving out of my apartment because my lease was up. I was with my ex, so I was like, yeah, I'm not staying here. I'm going to move around. But I got a background, so it's hard for me to just go anywhere I want to go.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm like, hey, is it cool if I stay with you for, a month or two so I can find me another apartment and then I'm going to roll out? And she was like, yeah, that's cool. There's no problem. Yeah. Because we was already cool and kicking it and
Right.
whatnot. So I was like, all right. So I stayed there for like a month, and a month turned into 7 years somehow. But while I was there, I remember we were sitting at the table, we were having dinner, and we're all talking, having fun. And she turned to me, she was like, so when are you moving? And I was like, probably about the end of the month. I was thinking like, I'm probably going to get up out of here. I won't be in here too long. I'm just playing around trying to make light of the situation. And she was just like, oh, okay. Because you don't have to move today, but yeah, end
You
of the month
gotta
is
go.
good. I was like, damn, son, like I'm getting kicked out by a 7-year-old. It's nuts.
Well, I feel like you said something very interesting. You said, as a step parent, you're walking into a situation that you don't have anything, you don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like with parenting is the same way, even with your own kids.
It is, yeah, because but you get the day one experience. You get to understand and know them and
But
kind
you
of
get
work
a different
around the
kid
kid.
every so often.
Yeah,
you
true.
have to continue to
That is
readjust.
true.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I'll find out soon. Yeah, I got one on the way.
Exactly.
So
You'll see.
Yeah, come.
You
yeah,
will see.
July. Then I'll
Oh,
find
I'm
out.
so excited.
Me
I'm so
too.
excited for y'all.
But the thing about step parenting is really hard because you have to go by what their parent wants.
Sure.
And the worst part about this situation with me was this: it was the fact that I was willing to put my life on the line for these kids, right? I'm all the way in this, right? And I'm 100%. And they were cool with me until Dad showed up. And then when Dad showed up, that's Hero. Hero took all that away from me.
Well,
within
he's
that matter of
literally
seconds.
half of them.
That's my point. So
Right.
while I'm sitting here like, damn, like kind of heartbroken, and it took me a while to get over it. I did because at the end of the day, you got to realize that biology beats anything. So at the same time, like especially if it's a good parent, because he's a good dad. He's not like he's not like some bum that just doesn't do anything. He shows up. He's there.
Yeah.
And so I give him credit for that. But like it was this whole thing that I was going through. Silently, obviously, not like running around the house acting a fool about it. I was just like, it was a crazy situation.
Yeah, I mean, the guy I called my dad, he wasn't my biological dad.
Yeah.
But in my mind, him being my biological dad wouldn't make us any closer.
Right.
And there was that adjustment period out of fear because you have that fear of rejection.
Yeah.
But he made that conscious effort and decided, hey, I'm going to have a father-daughter relationship with you, and I'm willing to wait you out until you're comfortable enough to let your guard down and let me be that for you.
Yeah.
Which only made me love him twice as hard because I understand you're not my biological father. You don't owe me this.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fact that you want to give me this genuinely and did it until the day he left this earth, God rest his soul, made me appreciate him twice as much.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree.
So I feel like even though it may be harder, it could be more rewarding.
It is definitely more rewarding.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I was there for like my youngest when he graduated kindergarten.
Yeah.
I was the only one that could make it.
Yeah.
But I was the loudest cheer there, I promise you.
Of
Like
course.
I was acting a fool. I was there for his first day.
That relationship is going to be even stronger because they'll understand as they get older and they realize how life works.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a time game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's after you've done this and after.
But as a parent, it's the same thing.
It is. No, I'm not
You see
disagreeing.
what I'm
There's
saying?
not a huge difference. I didn't say there was a huge difference, but it is. I feel like,
harder,
in my opinion,
I feel like it's equally hard, just different.
Right. 100%. I can't speak
I
on
can
it
agree
because
with
I don't
that.
have any kids
Oh,
yet.
your day is coming. I'm so excited. I'm
Yeah.
feeling the baby.
Yeah,
Just
you'll get there.
I'm gonna pull up, give me my baby, and we leave it. Okay, this is gonna be my baby. I'm excited for you to have that journey. It's something about parenthood that changes your perspective about life completely.
I don't know if it changes your perspective, but for me, what it did was it opened my eyes and made me realize that it's not about me. It's about us.
But isn't that changing perspective?
It changes your perspective in a way where, like, when you're single, it's about you. You're just doing what you want to do.
Yeah,
you
true.
can uproot and move. You can change jobs. You don't have no real problem with that stuff. I was known for packing my bags when I was single.
Yeah.
Right.
Deuces.
Right.
I'm out. I don't need to be in this. But when you get older and you start having kids, and then now they rely on you, and that's the scary part because you're scared to fail. You're scared to take the next step because you don't know what the next step's going to bring. You have all this fear and anxiety around you, and parents, like real parents, understand that. They understand that, like, we don't want to fuck up.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. We don't want to mess up. We don't want to, we don't want to
put mess up.
We don't want
You
to put
just
us
don't
in
wanna
a
ruin them
situation.
beyond compare.
Right.
But we don't want to put the entire household in a situation, especially as men who lead families.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We don't want to put you in a situation that's going to downgrade. That's what I tell my wife all the time. I even wrote it on our board. We don't take steps back. We don't walk backwards. We walk forward.
Sure.
We're always going to try to progress. We're always going to try to get a little better. We got to do better than what we did last year.
Sure.
So it's always progression. But that comes at a cost. It's not free.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely.
So with that said, that was the big, debate
Yeah.
thing that I had going on with him for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's harder though.
I
I
think
understand it.
it's a lot more terrifying.
Sure. I feel like I look at it like at my age and with me getting back into the dating scene, I'm probably going to be a step parent. And I have 3 of my own, so anyone I get with is going to be a step parent.
Yeah,
Right.
we're older now. We don't have a choice.
Right.
The older you get, the less your choices you go down. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's single mom or single. What are you gonna do?
Exactly. So I think it's just getting through that initial adjustment period and learning everybody's personalities. Because even when you have 3 children, same parent, each child has their own personality and needs something totally separate. So
Right.
having to learn that, like you said, I guess as a parent, you know those things a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you kind of got to get a crash course and figure out how do I navigate this situation to where I'm not overstepping boundaries, but I'm also present and the child knows that I care.
Yeah.
And I look at it like, well, you can never have enough people to love your children. Never.
Right.
That's true. It takes a village.
It really does.
It really does. That is not a lie. It really does take everybody, a
It does.
whole effort
Oh,
to get things,
glad you caught that.
to get kids in line, because things get crazy, and things get crazy quick. When you're a parent, especially if you have more than one kid, things get chaotic fast, especially when the whole house is sick. Oh my God. But you still got to be the one to get up and get stuff done.
Absolutely.
I do have a question
Yeah.
since you guys are parents. Like, hold on, I'm trying to word this question without sounding dumb.
There's no such thing as a dumb question.
Yeah, there is.
Trust me, I was that kid. I was that kid.
Don't let her lie to you.
Yeah.
There it is.
I was like, okay, there's no dumb questions. But yeah, what's the challenge of like battling their emotions or like honing in their emotions as they get older? Is that a challenge, or like how do you deal with that?
Male or female? Or
Either.
whatever, right?
Either or.
Because little boys and little girls are different.
You think so?
100% agree.
I don't think so.
I do. 'Cause
Let's hear her.
both.
Let's hear
I
her.
would- yeah,
I want
um,
to hear yours. Go first. I wanna hear
Okay,
yours.
well, so with boys, you have to understand what they're doing. First of all, growing up as a boy is a little bit different than growing up as a girl. For one, when you grow up, growing up as a boy is kind of like war. It is. When you have your friends, you know what I mean? You don't want to be around girls. You're like, nah, f that. You know what I'm saying? F them girls. I don't want to be
Right.
around that. You
Right.
remember those days?
Yeah.
Then you transition. into, wait a minute.
I like it.
Something's changing. Well, even if it's not girls, even if it's boys, whatever.
Sure.
Something's changing. Like, why do I all of a sudden find this person attractive? You see what I'm saying? Girls don't reach that for a very long time. Most. Like, my daughter is a perfect example. She doesn't even want to be around people, let alone, you know what I mean? Like, and then when that period hit, if I tell you that was the single hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life
Really?
was deal with the daughter on a period, because you can't punch them. That's illegal. So what you have to do is you kind of have to be like, okay, hold on, you're at a 6, let's bring it down to a 4. Let's figure out what's going on here. They don't even know. I don't know. Mom knows, but mom's not going to deal with it the same way I'm trying to deal with it. I'm
Sure.
trying to be the dad. I'm like, okay, hold on. Like, what, you want some chocolate? We can do some chocolate. Okay, fine. That's cool. You want some private
Chocolate
time?
make
You
it
want to be
good.
left alone? Cool, that's fine. You want a hug? Cool, I give you a hug. I'm trying to keep the peace, but it's like all out wars coming. You feel it brewing in the house. The tension gets deep. It's not like that with guys. Guys are just like, yeah, whatever. We're just dumb creatures that just like to do shit. So it is a difference. It's a huge difference when you're raising them.
What do you say?
I don't think it's much different. I think a perfect example of like my general overall thought is you have to. This is a skill that you're teaching your child, like how to feel your emotions and handle them in a way that's productive, right?
Right.
Perfect example of that. How adults can't even handle that. It's like the whole Will
Yeah.
Smith, Chris Rock situation.
Oh, that's a perfect situation right
He got overly emotional. For me, when I look at that situation, that's what happens. So, as a parent, it's your job to take a 4 or 5, however old your child is, and teach them. Okay, how are you feeling? How can you express that in a healthy way? Get your point across, and then work through those feelings and get back to a copacetic place. And most adults have a hard time doing that.
Yeah, I probably have.
Yeah,
a hard
I definitely
time.
have a hard
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, when I get overly emotional about something, my best thing is the thing for me to do is leave.
Yeah.
The whole situation. I don't even need to be here, because all it's gonna do, I have a boiling point that I can reach, and when that top blows, it's over with. I'm about to tell everybody how I feel. So what I need to do is get out of the situation. Let me calm down. Let me bring it back down to that 3. You know what I mean? We're almost at a 9. I need it back down to a 3. It's gonna take a little while.
Yeah.
What I like to do, this is my favorite thing to do, and I know it sounds stupid, but I vent to myself
Sure.
first. before I say anything to anybody. So if I'm in the car by myself, I'll just start going the fuck off on everything. Because to me, it's that yelling the pillow therapy they talk about, right? Instead of letting everybody know how you feeling, and that's because like you said, trying to get back to that copacetic spot. But right now, I'm going through my emotions. So the best thing to do is let me do it by myself. When I get back, XYZ. All right, this is where I fucked up. I admit my fault, but this is where I didn't like what you did. We gonna get past this.
Sure.
Right.
Right.
That's my way of getting through it. Kids are 0 to 100.
Because
It's like
they have no experience.
They don't. Yeah, they don't have experience dealing with
on doing
stuff,
that.
so they don't know. They just start immediately throwing fits. And then here I am as a step parent. Like, what do we do here? I've never dealt with this. So we got a kid that's going nuclear, and I don't know what to do. Right? So I'm just like, hey, what do we do here? I'm lost. I don't know. He's throwing shit. I have no idea what to do.
Right.
Yeah. Which luckily I didn't have to deal with that
Sure.
too much of that anyway. But
So
yeah.
if you haven't even mastered it fully,
Right.
it's very unfair to expect your kids to have it down pat.
That's fair. No, that's a
Yeah,
fair point.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If we have,
'Cause I haven't even got to that
I am-
state.
I am 100% convinced that adults are a myth.
Of course.
We're just big kids.
I was like, I feel like I should be more grown than this, but
Right.
I am not.
I do. I'm glad I'm not the only one. That makes me feel so much better to know I'm
am
not the
not.
only person that feels
I'm
that way.
winging this shit.
Because I feel like because it was weird, because when we were kids, right, we looked up to these people because they were bigger than us, and we just in our heads it was like, man, they got it all together. They know what life is about.
They were winging that shit.
But inside they were winging it. My mom didn't know shit. And it was crazy because as I got older, I was like, I'm always thinking in my head, like, when is this adult thing going to kick in? Like, when am I going to get it together? Like, when is it going to be there? And it came to the realization it's never going to happen.
No.
It's a myth. It's a whole lie.
We're constantly evolving. That's why I feel like as a step parent, it's not necessarily hard. You're just entering the game from the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm entering at
Ooh,
halftime.
That's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know the score. I don't know who's kicking and who's playing. I don't even know who's playing quarterback.
Well,
I just know I showed up
and I'm ready to give it my all.
and the ref keeps yelling at me.
But yeah, learning how to process your emotions. First, you gotta know how to do it yourself before you can
Yeah.
teach someone else how to do it.
Yeah, I don't even know
Yeah.
how to do that. I'm at the point where in my life, which my wife kind of helps me with it. What I do is I push it all away because I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. That's what I've coped with, but that's what I kind of trained myself to do. Look, just push it away.
I compartmentalize.
Is that what it's
like
called?
right now I don't have time
Right.
to do this. So I'm gonna do it, just not right now. I need a second. I still have X, Y, and Z to get done.
Yeah.
So once I get this done, then I can sit down, I can process, okay, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. See, you're organized. That's one thing I'm
Yeah, I'm
not. I'm the most unorganized person in the world. I don't even know how I make it through the day.
Right.
I swear to you, I wouldn't know what to do without my wife, man. Especially being where I'm at now in life. The
Right.
ups and downs, bro. She holds it all together. She's the glue.
Yeah. True.
I swear to you,
Oh,
because
what's up, glue?
I'm so like how you say like you decompartmentalize. Which I didn't even know was a word till now. Like the way you kind of like, okay, I'm gonna put this to the side. Let me focus on it, bro. I'm here, I'm there, I'm here, and then I'm over here, and then I'm back here, then I go over here, and then before I know it, I ain't get nothing done.
But see,
That's me in a nutshell.
This is a one-woman show right now.
Fair
yeah.
enough.
So
True.
it's like things that have to get done. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if I'm upset.
Yeah.
And I understand that, and I respect that, and that's one of the reasons why my perspective changed. I realized like it's really not about me at all, like you said before. My landlord don't care if I had a bad week.
Right.
That is true. The
okay.
same way
His
that your
money.
landlord
Speaking
don't
facts.
care if you're sick. And, yeah.
I still things have to get done.
Yeah.
But for my mental health, that is one I do have to work those things out. But
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be right now,
Yeah.
especially if I'm not emotionally in a good place
Yeah.
to even start that process. I'll just wait.
Yeah, see, and the problem with me, I never get back to it. So I'm serious. I'll have like these emotional. I just have these things that,
Spikes, like
that I
yeah.
feel, and I'm like, you know what? It's not the time. I'll push it away, and then later on down the line, it'll all like, it's like a jar. When it gets too full, it kind of burst open. That's kind of what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife,
Yeah.
she's kind of just like, okay, it's these type of moments. Look, calm down, listen, it's okay. We'll talk through how you feeling. And then I sit there and break it down to her, and she was like, okay, let's worry about this. And I sit there and just be like, how? And then I'm like, once I get calm, I'm like, how did I get calm? I was just
Yeah.
like throwing a like.
Yeah.
Because once you get that out, you
Yeah.
feel so much better.
Yeah, it
That
does.
comes down
It's
to
necessary.
to therapy.
Yeah, definitely. I would
Absolutely.
say everybody.
So
Therapy,
imagine a
even if-
5-year-old going through the exact things
That,
that you
yeah.
are feeling, and they don't even know the words quite yet to even
Yeah.
to identify what's happening,
Right.
and then communicate it.
Right.
And that's your job as a parent to teach them.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That is a fair assessment.
That's and it could be hard. It
See,
can be
that's
hard.
I'm not. That's kind of what I'm.
Yeah.
I'm not kind of scared of. Is I'm nervous about having a kid because I yet don't know how to control those sometimes.
Well, I can
So
tell
it's
you right
like-
now, if you're waiting to be ready to be
You
a
will
parent,
never be ready.
You'll never be ready. It doesn't happen.
Mm-mm.
I mean, look at me. I'm 36, about to have my first one.
It's one of
Because
those on the go type of jobs. You kind of go,
Yeah,
you go
I
with
kind
the flow
of,
of it.
did that. I kind of was like, well, I'm not ready yet. I'm not financially stable. All right, I'm financially stable, but I'm not mentally ready. All right, I'm mentally ready, but I'm not really wanting to do this right now. You're never fucking ready.
And that kid is gonna be a mirror to you.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a mirror to you.
yeah.
Your kid's gonna show you where you need to work,
Oh,
work
yeah.
on. My kids make me better. They've made me a better person. They forced me to see things in myself that I didn't have to deal with before.
Is that because kids are just too damn honest?
That, and I had to realize for me to be there for them the way I need to be, I gotta make some corrections on myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you this much. One thing I do love about kids is when they tell you something, believe it.
Absolutely.
Because they're not lying.
They're not
And, like,
socialized to
when a
lie.
kid tells you, hey, bro, you kind of fat, you might want to believe it.
They have
Ain't got no reason to lie to you,
lying
bro.
is something that we're socialized to do. They have no reason to lie.
Yeah.
But especially within the family because they feel safe within the family.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna hurt me, so I can be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's like, ouch.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you like, damn, you really just said that to me? Oh, that's crazy.
Okay.
Like, oh.
Okay.
Ah.
I'm at the mom's.
Yeah, I remember we let our oldest cuss. It doesn't bother me like it does everybody else. I don't know why. It just doesn't bother me. Like if he's getting it out, hey, let it out, man. That's part of, you know.
That's a social thing.
That's a social thing.
We've been
Out in public, he's
programmed.
not going to be cussing people out.
Sure.
But in the house, they don't care.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want. So one
They're
day,
called census decorators.
one day,
Really?
I
Oh, okay, I get it.
just what made me think of it. It was like one day we were talking back and forth. You know, we were cutting up. 'Cause we always joke with each other. He's like my buddy. He's like, you know what I'm saying? And we were cutting up and talking. And he was like, you know, you're kind of a dick. And I was just like, oh man, I gotta believe him.
Yeah.
Because there's just no reason for a kid to lie about that.
And
Yeah,
my next question is
I might
usually,
be.
then why so? Explain to me why I'm a dick.
Yeah, and we had that conversation, but
Mm-hmm.
it was still like that was one of those moments where you're just like, oh yeah, I guess I am.
That's how you feel. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, look, I'm 36 years out the door, bro. I could care less what you think about
Right.
me.
Not that I'm not going to
I'm
change
already-
anything.
yeah, like, I'm
But
not-
what
yeah.
about me says dick? Can you explain that?
Right.
Just
right.
for some insight.
But it was more funny to me than it was.
Yeah, of
anything.
course.
But
And I may be. Like, my kids told me the other day, you're not as fun as grandma.
Oh God, that'll hurt me. I'll be like, what?
But me and her talked about it. She was like, you are the parent.
She's
You're the one that's responsible. So I
Right.
get to be more fun.
Right.
It's
Okay.
The role I play is support and fun. I'm that person that they can release to. They know they're going to have a good time when grandma comes. I can sugar them up, give them all the things they want. And then I leave because it's your responsibility to
Right.
hold these
So
children.
when you gotta deal with the hyper this or the candy and God,
That's on me. It's not her job.
Yeah.
Now I'm in the parent role. So the same, it's no different than when I was a kid. Grandma was always cooler. She let me do things
okay,
that mom wouldn't let me do. But it's not her responsibility from how I turn out. People are gonna look at if my kids turn out shitty, they're gonna look at me and say, "What did you do wrong?"
Right.
Not grandma.
Right.
So one day I'll get to be in that role of the fun grandma, because it's not my job is done.
right,
Now I just get to be the support system for you, and be that person that the kids can have fun with, and then go bye.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that because I'm the disciplinarian. So I can't always be the fun one because
Right.
I'm the one that's molding you, and I gotta get you back in line when you straying too much.
Right.
That's not grandma's job. So of course she's
That's
more
a
fun.
that's a very fair point. No.
Yeah, I'd never thought of it like that.
Of course
Yeah.
she's more fun. So she was like, hi, bye. So I'm like, so I get it. And one day I'll get my revenge and I'll be grandma and I can spoil my grandkids and go, okay, I had fun. Bye. Your job to raise
Yep.
them, not mine. But if you need some help, because I'm a coach at that point. I'm a mentor. Whatever you need help in, I can help you.
Yeah.
Mm.
But she laughs because a lot of the things that I took her through, I'm now going through it with
Your
my
kids.
kids. So she's
Oh
looking
my
back laughing
gosh.
like, How's
Understandable.
that feel?
No, that's
Understandable.
That's
How's
a
that
very
feel?
fair
Like,
point.
it sucks. I don't like it. I don't
Because
like it at all.
I know one thing. If my kid is half of what I am, God, because
You be everything you are.
I was a crybaby.
Every behavior is a learned behavior for 90% of the time. So any bad trait that your child doesn't wake up one day and start speaking Chinese. They have to hear it. They have to get accustomed to that language
Right.
before they can speak it. So any negative behavior you see in your child, they picked it up somewhere. And 9 times out of 10, guess where they picked it up from?
Probably for me.
So once, like I
Yeah,
said,
them
your child
traits run
becomes your
deep,
mirror.
man.
Your child becomes your mirror because all the things you dislike about your child is probably things you dislike
About yourself.
about yourself.
That is a fair assessment.
God, I never thought about it like that. You just opening my third eye.
Man, that's what I do. That's what I do.
So I know that you do a lot of readings.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you're really big into the spiritual world.
Absolutely.
So I had to look it up, right? I was like, all right, let's be real. How many celebrities are actually in the game? And it was a
Almost all
lot
of them.
more than I thought it was.
Almost all of them.
I was pretty convinced. Fred, pull that up because I have it saved on there because I wanted to
really?
bring it up. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was pretty convinced. I was like, okay, so maybe a few. I think spirituality in
yeah, right here.
general is like reached an all time high.
Well, right now it's trendy.
It's not only so much it's trending, but I think people are moving away from the churches a little bit more because they're starting to open up. And they're starting to understand, a lot more about what's going on
Absolutely.
than just here's the book, read it, and follow what I say and give me money.
Sure.
So here's the thing. So all right, so I pulled it up. I wanted to say, all right, so these are the people, these are the celebrities. There's 25. So Ariana Grande was one, right? Then Lana Del Rey is another one.
Oh,
Right.
I could tell from
Yeah,
her.
I kind of get that vibe
Yeah.
from her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
David Bowie. Never saw that coming because I didn't know.
Who's David Bowie?
Well, he's he's an old singer from a long time ago. You probably wouldn't know who he is. But yeah, he was big. He was big into ghosts and UFOs and all stuff. Like I was
Oh.
reading through this a little bit earlier, but I had to bring it up to you because I wanted to see. So
Oh, definitely Azalea Banks.
Azalea Banks. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
She
you
don't
could
hide
definitely.
it.
Kind of do that one.
Yeah.
Lauren was another one. Which
Not surprised.
I don't know her music. I just know her from
I don't know who
South
that
Park,
is.
so I'm not gonna lie to you. But
She's from South Park.
no, but South Park did a thing on her. It was
Oh,
really
okay.
funny.
They
It
did
was-
a little pun like they do on
it was
everybody.
really,
Okay.
It was really funny. Anyways, so Adele was another one.
Really, Adele?
Yeah, yeah. I never saw that coming. Bjork
I don't know who that is.
is another one. Well, so it says right here she's Wicked. So all right, that's,
Wicked, is that a
Grimes.
group or something?
which
So
I don't know.
it's almost like I call it like you got different sects. Like Christianity, you got the different sects. You got the Baptists. You have
Catholic. and-
Catholic. You got
Southern
Methodist.
Baptist, Methodist.
So the base of it may all be the same, but
But
then
it's-
there's differences.
Okay.
So within the spiritual community, it's no different. So
Okay.
you have different sets. The base of it is the same, but
Okay.
yeah,
different
so
sets.
yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Wiccans
That's
are
up.
like I don't know. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Oh.
I have different viewpoints.
Queen,
and stuff like that.
Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce is another one.
Yes, we love her.
Queen Bee, right?
Proud.
I can't.
Beehive
You
member.
probably won't like my take on Beyonce then.
I want to hear it. I still want to hear it.
Okay, we can do it after this.
Get past this
Okay.
before you start getting
Yeah.
yelled at. Sam Smith. So
I
that
love
one
that,
blew
yeah.
my mind because I was talking about Sam Smith last podcast and how he's one of my favorite singers that I've ever
Yeah.
heard. I love his voice, right? But I never knew that he was
So
into
many closeted ones,
witchcraft. That's crazy. Jennifer Lopez
of course.
is another one.
Me, her, and Beyonce all practice the same thing.
Oh wow.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
That's what's
Spencer
up.
Pratt. That's another one. Stevie Nicks, Elvis Presley, Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Really?
That's scary looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what they did was they forgot to drink the youth potion.
Yeah, they forgot.
Yeah, they fucked up somewhere. They sold something and didn't get it back. Princess Nokia.
She looks so happy in that picture.
Who?
She looks so happy. I don't know who she is, but she look happy. I like her already. Look at that.
Puerto Rican woman. So she has roots in something. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm skimming through this. I'm not trying to spend too much time on this. I just thought it was interesting.
I'm so
So
like, that's so cool. I didn't know that.
yeah, Heather Graham, NBC, or I'm sorry, MSN. Katy Perry.
Oh, for sure. I've seen her post some stuff on her Instagram about that.
For real.
Yeah.
So I never got her name right. I know Bach, but it's Barusa, right?
Yeah, Farusa.
Yeah,
Farah.
Ferusa.
She be like, what's up, girl?
Right.
What's up,
Babe?
girl?
The one that played on The Craft. You know.
Yeah.
Her. Sammy Davis Jr. blew my mind.
Mm.
Yeah, right. Never saw it coming.
Huh.
So I was assuming, like, you know, being that he was in the Rat Pack and stuff, like, you know, he was probably that Christian thing. No, man. Because Elvis was in it. So, hey, I was a cult. Oh, man. Oh, my whole fucking life's ruined. Now I got to go back and read everything.
And, you know, this is going to be the whole overall, what's what I'm looking for, like the feel of my podcast. There are so many people that practice around you that you have no idea, and it's nothing to be feared.
Yeah.
Right.
It's nothing to be feared.
Yeah, but you can tell people that all day. They ain't going to believe it.
Yeah.
Gabrielle Anwar was another one. Patrick Swayze. What?
Really?
Mm.
Well,
It said he even owned a magic wand, believed in crystals, and yeah, it was all said
I
on
got
it.
a magic wand.
Naomi Campbell.
Not surprised.
Yeah, she was sacrificing her assistants.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Oh, boo me. Oh yeah, she hit one with a phone. Yeah, I remember they were like, we're gonna fucking forget that shit.
We had forget.
Yeah, we ain't forgot.
I'm lost though.
Sybil Shepherd. I don't even know who that is. Christian pagan Buddhist goddess worshiper. So you just took all of
She
them
said,
and just
"I'm
boiled
all
them in
of
a pot. Yeah.
The
It's a clusterfuck.
smorgasbord.
Evan Rachel Wood. I think that was it. Or it might be more, but I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, it's probably way more than that.
Do you want to hear my little take on?
I want to hear you take on
Absolutely.
Beyonce
Beyonce.
because
And don't give her too much.
I'm gonna back
Don't
up,
give her too
let
much.
Fred get punched.
So, okay, my take on Beyonce is I don't. I will say this. I enjoy her music. I wouldn't say like, but I could play a Beyonce song and be all right. It's just I don't particularly like her because she comes off as like not bougie, but it's kind of like I guess you could say bougie, kind of like she's that one kid in the classroom that's like, I know that I got this, so I'm gonna shove it in your face, kind of.
You think so?
Yeah,
What
that's
makes you feel that way?
just because how she.
we in her therapy. Fuck. It'll take all day.
So just because I look at how as a kid I didn't really pay much attention to it, but when I got older I kind of went back and looked at the group she was in and the way it was kind of portrayed, or like how she left. I would say I don't want to say portrayed, how she left kind of. She kind of made it about her, and
Sure.
and I'm just like, but
I can see
there's
that
three other
perspective.
people. Oh, two other people. Sorry, two other people in the group, and you know,
Yeah.
she's kind of like. I'm trying to think of a person who's kind of like it's all about me. I don't know, but yeah, that's basically. I feel like she's kind of just all about me, and I personally don't like that.
Do I feel like Destiny Child was always kind of a setup for her to take off? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's no different than many of the other bands before her and after her.
Yeah, sure.
There's always that one they kind of got their eye on. It's like, yeah, that's the one that's going to take off.
Yeah.
I didn't like her either, if you want to know the truth, until about Lemonade. And my reason for disliking her was different. I was like, who are you? Your music is fun. I can dance to it.
Right.
There's no substance here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of how. Yeah.
No like who
Right.
like who are you as a person? Like,
Right.
That's one reason why I enjoy music, is getting to know that person's perspective. Until Lemonade, which the whole album is about Jay-Z cheating.
Right. Basically.
And how they got back together.
Right.
I was like, so you are human. Oh my God. Okay, you do have feelings. You're not a robot. Okay.
Right.
And then on top of that, the visual art, that's when I knew she practiced. Trying it all back together. If you practice and you watch Lemonade, she's throwing signs at you that she practices. But you won't
some people
recognize
think that's
them.
the Illuminati. Some people think that's the
she's
devil
just like,
worshiping
"Damn
cult
it."
that bathes in baby blood.
Everybody that practices isn't Illuminati.
Drinks goat
Do
pee.
they exist? I think.
Probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Is this everyone that practice a member of the Illuminati? No. Not
I don't think
everybody.
they exist.
I think they do.
I do.
don't.
I think they do. I
I
think
don't.
there's some power.
I think, so what I do think is I think that since this whole thing has taken off, it started like way back in like the '60s. People really started to believe Hollywood was like devil worshippers and stuff. So I think they use that as a way
the
to
most
throw
part.
subtle hints to keep people watching.
Sure.
So it sounds like a great money tactic. Like it's a great grab. It's an attention grab. It's a hook.
Sure.
Does it really exist? Probably not. The reason I think it doesn't is because I can barely get 25 people to agree on a birthday party date, let alone getting 400 plus million people to agree on to stay quiet about a cult.
Right.
So to me, it's just like it's not reasonable.
Maybe-
There's a lot of people that do it. Look, there's a lot of hints out there. There's a lot of things that people have tied together that make a lot of sense. And you sit there and like, yeah, okay, I can see that. But
Sure.
in reality, the place where I live, I don't think it's a thing. Until they come knocking on my door and offer me a contract, I don't think it's a thing.
But I'm not gonna be down. I'm not trying to sacrifice no cousins.
A cousin?
sacrifice
Oh,
no
I thought it
cousins.
was like daughters or sons.
It depends on what you want.
I don't know.
Everything there's a price to pay.
If it is
How
a
we
How
cousin-
much
cousin,
you willing to pay
Why am
for
I
it?
even entertaining this at this
You
point?
be like,
This is
which
so
cousin?
dumb.
I'm like, which cousin? You
yeah,
talking
which
about?
cousin you talking about now? I got a lot of them.
it's
It's
like
gotta
this,
be
like-
one I don't like. Get up, lad.
It's gotta be a thing that people. It's so easy to tie stuff together.
Sure.
When you have a lot of information, you can make whatever you want out of it.
To be true.
So
sure.
to be fair, yeah, I can see how they could tie stuff like that together, but you have to understand that most of us don't know what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And so when we do things, it may seem a little unorthodox and it may seem like those are subtle hints. It may seem this and that or whatever, but in reality, none of us know what we're doing. It kind of just what you interpret it as.
Right.
But
Oh,
Black,
That's
is,
what came
when
about.
Black is King, she pretty much came out and just said, "Look, y'all, I'm a witch,
Mm.
and I practice
That's fine. Practice
African
what you want.
spirituality, and I am the child of Oshun, and my sister is the child of Yemaya." And when I heard that, I was like, mind blown, because I'm like, I actually feel represented. Like
Yeah.
she literally made a whole album about my lifestyle,
Oh wow.
breaking
Yeah.
it down. So
I'm about to check that out. What album is it?
this is the Black is King. The whole album
Black is King. Okay.
is a tribute to African spirituality.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
I'm about to check that
And
out.
it's I was like,
That's-
if you didn't know about Lemonade by Black is King, she made it perfectly clear. I'm a witch.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my
that's-
God, me too, girl. So not only do I like you because you, me too, girl. You showed your feelings, and then you're like really letting us into your spiritual practices. That is dope. Now sign me up. I want to be a member of the Beehive now.
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay.
But did I think she had to grow up? And she's a billionaire. You don't become a billionaire without stepping on somebody. I don't care what nobody say.
Well,
Yeah.
true.
You
Okay.
don't get that much
Okay.
money without stepping on somebody.
Okay. Oh,
Period.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's a fair assessment.
So
I
I
could
can't
say
even
that.
get mad at her for that. But at least she's turning it. Whatever she did negative, at this point, she's kind of turning it around and making it for our good. So
I mean,
I'll
I
forgive
don't
you.
know. To your point about Destiny's Child, Kelly Rowland made it.
But barely.
He's a
And
virgin.
trust me, I'm a
I would say-
Kelly
I would say
Rowland.
barely.
Trust me, I love Kelly Rowland. I had her on my screensaver all through middle school. Trust me, I loved her. But like,
Trust me.
yeah, I love Kelly Rowland.
You know.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know. It was kind of like when you look back at Destiny Child, it was kind of like Beyonce. Oh my God, Beyonce.
But the same thing
Oh my
about
God,
Jackson
Beyonce.
5. We don't blame Michael for that.
That
It was
part.
always Michael.
But
I'm
it
glad
was
you
but I
said
was
that.
always
no,
It's
no,
weird.
no,
It's like we
okay,
get connected
okay,
because I
okay.
was
But my
literally
thing is,
about to bring up that
his
entire topic.
I think Michael's dad did that on purpose. He put
Beyonce's
him.
dad did that on purpose.
Oh, okay. No, okay.
Same
I didn't know
thing.
that.
Same thing. Their manager was Beyonce's dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm gonna make sure my baby girl get what she need.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But see, it's even worse for. I feel like it's even worse for Joe because all them was his children. Them all your children.
He had to pick a favorite. He was just like, pick
This
the
one,
young one.
this
And then
the
yeah,
win.
it wasn't even the oldest one.
He went straight
This
for the
the
young
win.
one.
So,
Poor Janet.
I mean, she was number 2 though. I feel like she was number 2
I don't. Well, I could be wrong.
of success. You got Michael.
Okay. Success. Yeah.
And then who's next? Out of the
Janet.
Jacksons.
Janet.
Janet.
But I watched the documentary and I know some of the stuff in documentaries.
And as a woman, they just kept.
Yeah, they kept shoving her down. I was like, damn, but she got talent though. Look at her now, like.
Yeah.
So.
She had to fight for it. She had to fight for it. Now when she got out of her prime, when she has full control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's the Beyonce's and them taking over. So is it too late?
The fact that you cheated on Beyonce, though.
I just can't. I don't
Could you
know.
imagine the self-esteem hit she had to take for that one?
She spoke about it in the album.
I know
That's
she
why
did,
I
but I'm
loved
just
it.
saying,
I'm
like, I'm trying to
girl.
I always try to put myself in situations that I'd never be in.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel good about myself.
What would I do if I was them?
Yeah, what would I do if I was a billionaire that got cheated on?
I
So, like, the
mean-
thing is like, I thought about it, and I was like, damn, could you imagine the self-esteem hit she took for that one?
Sure.
Like, you have arguably one of the hottest women in the game, you know, and
Say
then
nah.
you cheated on her, and she has to go out and face her fans. That has to be rough on her, man. That had to
Absolutely.
be
But
rough.
he made a. It's funny because they did the few times they do speak because they choose when they speak and when they
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
Yeah.
He said that they had that joint album, The Carters.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
when they was making Lemonade, when she made Lemonade, originally they went in the studio together to make The Carters, and then she just kind of started. It just started coming out.
So he was
Lemonade.
in there looking at her like, damn, you gonna
Right.
do
He's
this?
like, you know what? I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Oh, look at the time. Oh shit. Yeah,
leave.
she's
I'm
talking
gonna
about me cheating. Yeah, whoopsies.
I'm gonna get out of
Whoopsie
here.
daisies.
He said he let her get that out because by that point they had made up. But like once again, it's almost all time together. How she had to she compartmentalized it,
Yeah.
and then when she got in that studio, that's when it
think
all
that's
just
the key
kind of
to success.
regurgitated it.
It's that word I just remembered.
Nah, I can't even. Yeah.
Compartmentalized.
I cannot say
The
that.
word we just learned today
Right.
is the key to success, and we can't even pronounce it.
Right.
And also,
Compartmentalize.
she was like, I'm not telling y'all my information for free. If you want to know what happened,
You got to buy this
That's what
out.
Chris Rock is
Give
doing
me
right
a
now.
coin.
Ooh, that's a good.
No, that's what Chris Rock is doing right now about the slap.
Why not?
He won't speak on it until you pay him.
why not?
I mean, yeah,
You gonna pay me
capitalize,
for my
baby,
pain?
capitalize.
If I went through this pain, I'll at least get paid for it. I
Yeah.
ain't mad at that at all. Get
Nah,
your
I'm
money,
not,
boo.
no, I'm not saying I'm mad at it. I'm
Get
just
your
saying, like,
money,
yeah,
boo.
that's what he's doing.
But he said he had to leave out. But then he made 444, which was almost his response to Lemonade. And he was saying, "I'm sorry, I was immature."
Yeah.
He had low self-esteem, and that's why he cheated.
I mean, look at him. Well, he's not
Well,
that
there's
good
a-
looking.
So there's a big thing amongst a lot of celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
It basically makes people who are in that kind of situation feel like they don't belong here.
Right.
They're not as great as this person. They're
Mm-hmm.
not really that guy. They're not really that chick. So they start to just self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it all the time. And it's a real thing. It's called imposter syndrome.
Absolutely.
Where they
It's-
feel like okay, let's say I was headlining as a comedian, and I go out there and I just have that moment where I'm just like, I don't belong here. Like I'm a club guy. What am I doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
So then you go out there and you just don't have a good night and bomb hard, and then you come back and you just self-destruct.
Oh, because now you're looking
Because
like,
now
see,
you're in
like,
your own
yeah,
head.
see, I don't
You're-
believe you.
You're
Okay.
basically like in your
Okay.
own way. It doesn't matter how many millions upon millions of dollars you've made, and it doesn't matter how many box office hits you've had. It doesn't matter how many record-selling albums you've had. It doesn't matter. You still get in your own head. It's basically you're tripping over your own feet and getting in your own way.
Absolutely.
And people
that's
do it
why
all the
I don't
time.
let nothing beat me. I refuse to let the imposter syndrome take me down. I am as great as I say I am.
Yeah, that's a good
Period.
day. That's a good thing to have.
As great as I say I am.
Yeah,
And if I want to do it, I'm gonna do it.
it's hit me before,
It's
Really?
hit me before.
It's got
and
me
I haven't
before.
even reached a level
Yeah.
of success where I would like to be.
You start,
Right.
like,
But it's
am
hit me.
I? Am
Look,
I?
it's hit us because we did the podcasting as a way to just kind of get us out there and just kind of talk to people that we
Sure.
like and get people that are doing shit on our level.
Sure.
We're
Right.
not interviewing celebrities.
Sure.
When's the last time you seen a celebrity here? You don't.
No.
Everybody does that. Let's talk about people who are trying to do something else. So that's why we did this. We were like, yeah, let's start getting people on that are writing books about, different types of, whatever. Or Brittany who wanted to, who wants to cut hair for the homeless. And let's do stuff like that.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why we did this. This isn't for celebrities. This is
Sure.
for us. So once we got in it and we started putting it online, we had like this moment of like, dude, do we belong here?
Yeah.
And we
Absolutely.
both had it. We were
If
like,
you
what are we
say
doing?
you do, then you do.
Yeah, we were like, what are we doing? We had that moment.
Spirituality taught me that though.
But, we got past that.
It taught me that, and that's why I ultimately got into spirituality. My life was a mess.
I've always been spiritual. I've always been
was.
in a way where like I moved away from the church. My move to paganism was so much more petty than it is anything else.
For me, it was honestly it was a mental health thing for me. I had reached a mental point. For one, as a preacher's kid, for one, I'm a PK.
God.
I'm a PK, so I
Them be
grew
the
up in the
fruits.
church. Not to mention, I studied religion in school, so
Yeah.
I got it from both ends. It didn't fulfill me, and I had so many questions
Yep.
that they could not answer,
Yep.
and they would
Yep.
actually get angry at me
Yep.
for even asking.
Yep.
And I come to realize the reason why they got angry is because they
They
didn't
didn't
know
know.
the answer.
Yep.
And so they took it as disrespect. And it's like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I genuinely want you to answer this question. And
Yep.
they couldn't. Then I got to a point where life got really, really hard. I got to a point where I was having anxiety attacks
Yeah.
on a regular basis. And I was like, at this point, I don't even care what it is. I'm willing to try whatever is going to make me feel better.
Yeah.
And met up with this girl with a hook in her nose and a shaved mohawk with tattoos in her head. But she was so damn happy. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you so happy? Like, teach me what you know,
me.
please. And that was how I got started.
Oh wow.
And I realized that I am a spirit inside of this meat suit, as I call it, having a
Yep.
human experience. And they teach us in science class that energy cannot be destroyed. It
Yeah,
can only
nor
be
created.
transferred, nor created. It can only be
It
transferred.
can only be transferred. Yeah.
So
That was one of the things I brought up when people think of spirituality, because most people that go the spiritual route just kind of end up in an atheist zone. They kind of just like, okay, this is all bullshit. I always tell them, I'm like, spirituality and science go hand in hand, and no
Absolutely.
one really understands that.
either or.
It's
No
only
one said
people who
either or.
really like take the time to study and take yourself out of the equation and just look at humans as a whole. And there's a lot more to it than that.
Absolutely.
But I'm on the same boat as you. That's how I ended up here, is because I was actually kicked out of Sunday school. I was kicked out of vacation Bible school.
Oh Lord.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a really true story, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's hilarious as it sounds.
And we got time. I want to hear it. What happened?
Okay.
What happened?
All right, ask my mom. If you don't believe me, hit up my mom.
What
She'll tell you.
happened?
All right. let me back up to reiterate. So I was in a family that was very Christian. They were very devout. They were really by the Bible, but were horrible people. So the best way to describe it
Which tends to be
is,
the case in the church, but keep going. I'm like,
Yes.
there's some shitty people in here, yo.
man.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this is what happened. So I end up I had gotten in trouble in school. I don't remember what for. Mind you, this is a million years ago. And so they tell me, they're like, hey, we signed you up for vacation Bible school. So it's about a week total of being at the church. And so I'm thinking, all right, this is just a week I got to do. And my mom's always been spiritual. She kind of even pulled me to the side. And she was like, look, it's a week. Just get through it.
Do it.
Just get through it. Just do it. You know,
You be alright.
you'll be fine. Yeah,
Right.
basically. So I get there. We are on day one. I get there and I
Guess who just
immediately
busted the root.
I get there and I immediately don't want to be here.
Right.
Right? So this is what they did. They had a bunch of people that were walking around in like these, I don't know, potato sack robes or whatever
Right.
they did. And it was like
kind
this
of
whole
church was
thing
that?
because, oh my gosh, so stupid. They had this setup where they thought that, like we dressed the kids up like they used to dress back in the day, and we're going to give them this certain type of currency. It was so stupid. Look, this is how it went. I get there, and the first thing you do is like, all right, I need you to go in there into the bathroom, and you're gonna dress out into these robes. And I'm looking at the robes, and I'm like, I'm immediately not doing this. This is the dumbest shit ever. They look like potatoes. Dude, I look like a fucking Irish potato farmer.
Oh.
I'm redheaded. I don't want to do this. This is stereotyping. I immediately don't want to do this. Okay.
I'm picturing it as you say, and I'm like,
It was
And I'm
so
hollering.
it was so stupid. Like, all right, so I go and I get dressed, and I had to put on this stupid little rope that wouldn't stay still. It was
God,
it was
they-
a whole thing, man.
man.
I get there, and then like, all right, they're like, okay, so you don't have any worldly possessions, so all you have is your currency, and this is all you're gonna get. So I'm like, all right. So in my head, I'm thinking like, all right, so I got, what's the prize? Like, there's got to be a prize to this. I'm a kid. I'm a kid. I want a reward system. What do you got here, right? Like, what do we win? Like a PlayStation or whatever it was.
Right.
Hot
What
at
is
the time.
the point of this?
What is the point of this, right? So they gave me a sack of rocks. Shit you not. And I was like, what is this?
I'll pop you with these rocks.
And so I'm looking, I'm like, what is this? They go, oh, but this is the currency they used back in the day. And I was like, did we forget that Judas sold Jesus out for gold?
Right.
Where's
Oh,
the gold?
Silver.
Silver? Whatever.
Something.
They had
didn't want
coins.
No rocks.
They had coins. The Persians had coins.
Right.
Where is the silver?
Y'all saw 300
Yeah.
when she stabbed that dude and then dropped all the coins and it
Like,
had
that might
Xerxes'
joke
head
to
on
you.
it. We all seen that. So anyway, like I'm in my own head, right? I'm just like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. So I'm like, all right, I'm playing along. I'm getting along with the kids. I met a couple cool people there. We was vibing, we was kicking and shit. And then this is where it all popped off. That was day one. Day two, I only made it 3 days. Day two, we get there, and they had us rehearsing, like reading scripts from the Bible, and we also had this moment where they wanted us to remember all the books of the Bible in order. Well, I don't know. It seems like brainwashing to me. It just really felt odd.
In a
Something
way.
was off. I think it was just my ancestors were like, get the fuck out of there! Leave!
This ain't it, poo.
This ain't it. Go! Run! Run! But like I was trying to make everybody happy. That was my thing as a kid. I just wanted everybody happy, so they left me alone. So I'm going through the motions, and like, I remember. So we're reading these scripts from the Bible, and it was like we had to start at the beginning. So in the beginning, there was nothing. There was just God, right? Here I go. Well, there was nothing.
I got a question.
Who created God then? That was my first question.
Right.
And instead of giving me an answer, they got mad at me because I disrupted the class. I wasn't listening. I was talking back, and now I'm disgracing God's name. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I never got an answer. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to leave it alone. Whatever. I'll just read these fucking books. Okay, so I was reading. And then there's something else came up, and I rose my hand up again, and I was like, I have a question. And then they were about to ask me what the question was, and I just decided, you know what? I'm going to let it go. And mind you, I'm like 7. I'm like 7, 8 years old. You know what I mean? So I'm young. I'm not like me now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand where all this is coming from. This is a really long story for being 3 days. But so I'm going through the motions, and then all of a sudden, this guy came out of nowhere. And he was dressed like us, but he had like this long beard, and he looked kind of like Kenny G in a way. That's the best way to describe it. Like I was ready for him to break out the
Not
saxophone.
White Jesus.
White Jesus. So he comes out. It's true. He came out and he was just like asking everybody what they want. So this is where it all went down. Day 2 is where it went down, right?
This is about to
So
go
I reached for
down.
I had this sack of rocks I had to carry around.
Uh-oh.
Dumbest thing in the fucking world, right? I reached for my rocks and I can't find them. I'm like, I know I have my rocks. Where are my rocks at? I see another kid. He got 2 sacks of rocks, right? Not 1, 2 of them. I know for a fact I had 1. Now I have 0. Everybody got 1. Now he has 2. I'm putting 2 and 2 together.
Math ain't mathing. Them
Right.
My
The
rocks.
math ain't mathing, all right?
Them my rocks.
Those are my rocks, okay? And I
Oh my
need
God.
those because that's how I eat. So I'm like, I'm not even, this is a true story. I can't even make this shit up. I can't make this up. This is true.
Do you pay for your lunch with them?
Oh my God, it was so dumb. And yes. So I get up there and I was like, hey, I think you accidentally picked up my rocks, okay?
Accidentally?
I want to be cordial about this, you know? No need to get your nose broke. Let's just, hey, give me my rocks back, right? I come in like fucking wise, like some wise guy and shit. Like, hey, look, you got a rocks, and they're kind of mine. I need them back. Hey, go ahead and hand them over. So he's all like, what? No, these are my friends. You know, making up some shit. So I'm like, all right, let me do the responsible thing. I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to
Tell
the
a grown
pastor,
up.
right?
Yeah.
Tell a grown up, hey, I think that kid accidentally picked up my rocks. I didn't accuse nobody of stealing, all right? Accusations are deadly. So what I did was I was just like, hey, I think he accidentally did this. So we're going to record this out. This kid was bad anyway. He was, he's a lost cause. Send him to Satan. So he, so I go up there and I was like, hey, this is what happened. So they were like, all right, let's talk it out. So they get us both together. We start talking it out. I'm like, hey, I think you accidentally picked up my rocks. They said, no, these are my friends. They go talk to the friends, not the friends. Found out that the kid stole my rocks. I'm like, all right. Oh my God, I can't even make this shit up, bro. It's so true. It's dumb. So I'm like, all right, so what do we do? So I go in and I start looking, and now I notice rocks are missing, right? Because I started out with 10. But now I got 8.
Or
Math ain't
you
nothing.
done messed up. You done messed up
All
the
right.
church's money. The church's rocks. Where's my rocks? You got a problem.
So this is how it all went down. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. So I was like, hey, you owe me 2, right?
Damn, I'm gonna get my rocks back.
I'm getting, look, hey,
I'ma get my rocks back.
That's not enough. You owe me 2. I was like, where my 2 rocks at? Like, I'm not playing. And this is true. And so we get into this altercation, and the kid punched me. Like, he didn't punch me like he
how
didn't
you
punch.
do that?
Hold on. He didn't punch me like you punch a person. He punched me in the chest because I guess kids back then, I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. I was like, what, bitch? Right there. We got it in. So they had to break us up. Okay. My mom gets called. I had to go. Just, we're immediately like, now we're in this whole thing where it's like an
Man, I'm just
assault.
trying to get my money,
It's a whole
man.
thing, right? As I'm leaving, I'm being drug away. I'm like, give me my rocks. I want my rocks. I was dead ass serious about that shit. That kid still owes me
It's
2
the
rocks to
principle.
this
To
day.
this
It's
day,
the
you owe me 2
principle.
rocks.
Yeah, I see you. You better pick them up off the curb and hand them to me, or it's on site.
I was sitting here thinking, why did you just go get some more rocks off the ground?
Yeah, we did that. Actually, there was a kid that did that and he got in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was already forming.
I was just gonna get some more rocks.
Yeah, you
Get
can't
more
stop
money.
a hustler, bro. You can't stop a hustler. Look.
They would.
So anyway,
Can't stop my shine.
so I had to go home. I had to explain to everybody what happened, and I was like, look, I told them just like I told you.
You stole my rocks.
Yeah, but they were like, no, because here's the thing. They were all like, oh, well, did you forget about forgiveness? And did you forget this? Fuck all that. Look, here's the
How
thing.
am I gonna
Like,
eat without the rocks?
Right.
that part, right?
I forgive you, but I'm hungry.
So, exactly.
Right.
How is it she gets it? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? So,
Common sense.
all right, we'll pass all that because that was all family bullshit anyway. So day 3, this is where it all happened. I go in, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let it go. So one of the guys that was pretending to be white Jesus, right, was walking
This is
around.
the littest
And-
vacation Bible school ever.
He was walking around and he was asking everybody. This is where it all went down. He was asking everybody. He was like, "And what would you like, my son?" Like he was Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
I want my rocks back.
And no, you already know. Look, this kid in the beginning, like he was all like, like asking for shit, like, oh, we need more water for our village, and oh, we need more whatever, right? They get to me. True story, right? Ask my mama, she'll tell you. Look, he get to me, he goes, where you want? I said loud as day, I want my fucking rocks back. Mad. It just came out of nowhere. It was like, no, you ain't finna take from me. I was emotional and shit. I got
my life I
mad.
had to fight.
Yeah, color purple. You know what I'm saying? I'll be damned if I'm gonna fight here. So
And see, that's why I never grew up, because as the Bible school teacher, I would have been weak right there.
yeah, so I'm like, I want my rocks back. And he was like, this dude was confused. He's like, what rocks? How did we get here? I thought we were talking about fish and shit. Like, what the fuck? Where's my wine? Like, this dude's like, clearly they pulled him off the street. Anyway, so we're doing all this. The pastor pulls me to the side. He's like, I thought we squashed this, but apparently you're not trying to, you know what I mean? Like, this dude went like 0 to just patriarch.
I thought
Minute.
this was dead.
I thought this was, yeah, like he didn't say I squashed it. I'm giving you it in my terms, but they were talking different. So anyway, so he was like, I thought this was done. All right, clearly you're not understanding, we forgave him. We moved on. I said, no. I was
I
like,
didn't
you
forgive
forgave him. I want my rocks. See, I got a goal, and I can't reach that goal unless I got some rocks in my hand. This is a true story. So
Oh, my
that
God.
lets you know. So anyway, they called my mom. Mom had to come pick me up, and then I had to have this like garage talk where she was like, dude, you had 1 week. You couldn't even do that. And I was like, bro, you weren't there.
They
You
took
don't
my
know. They
rocks.
took my rocks, bro. Like she didn't understand what I was talking about.
It's
She
the
thought I was
principle.
going crazy, so she just let it go, and I ended up getting kicked out. And that's a true story.
Damn.
Yeah. And so from that point forward, I think that's where the journey to paganism started.
For me,
I was like, fuck you. Fuck Jesus. Fuck your rocks. I'm out.
I fuck Jesus. Oh Lord.
Halfway to fucking high school, I'm like, praise be to Odin. Yeah, it was true. That's a true story. I just moved away from it, and then what really irritated me was the more I moved away from it, the further people would try to pull me into it. And
Yeah,
the
for
more that
sure.
I would have
For
to
sure.
fight these fights and fight these battles. It wasn't enough that as I was dating this chick that was like a devout Catholic, and I was just trying to smash. I ain't gonna lie. What's the point? So she was like, really wanting me to go to church and all this stuff. So I would go to church with them, and I would see have
Right.
you ever been to a Catholic church?
I have.
Yeah, so you see how they walk with the little urn,
Yeah.
and they do this thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were doing all that, and I was standing there, and I was like, God, this is dumb. These people are brainwashed as fuck. Like thinking, because at the time I was pretty atheist, more than
Yeah.
anything. I was just like, dude, there's nothing. This is stupid. We're just here on a floating rock, and that's the end of it. So I'm trying to get to this, I'm trying to get this chick, you know what I mean? But I'm having to go through all this, and the more I went through this,
When
more
I'm
I
on
was
this
like,
rock, I'm trying to smash.
yeah, yeah, right, yes. I'm young. I don't give a damn, right? Fuck what your
I
daddy
get that.
says. That was that guy. So anyway, like as we were going through this whole motion of like dealing with all this stuff, like they said at the end of this little
This is yummy,
ceremony.
by the way.
That
I
shit
ain't
is
gonna
good.
hold you.
No, it's
Yeah,
just
Oh,
nice.
man.
It's fire.
So at the end of
It-
this ceremony, they were telling me, they were like, yeah, you have to go and we need you to go confess your sins. And I was like, dude. So I get into this little booth, and it's just like the movies. Like they got the little screen, you got to unlock the little, the window.
Yeah.
And then
I'd be like, hey.
the pastor came in. I did because I didn't know what to do, right? Like, mind
Right.
you, I don't do all this shit. This is y'all's thing. Like, why don't y'all confess for me? You know what I do. So I'm in this little booth, right? Like, I'm in this booth, and like I'm trying to talk to this dude like he's a normal cat. I'm like, yo, what's up, fam? Like, you cooling today? Like, what's happening? And he was just like, so what have you done? And I was like, oh, I've done a lot of shit, bro. Like, you have to reorder. I was
where
like,
do we start?
yeah, where do we start? You want to start at day one when I got kicked out of vacation Bible school? Like, what you trying to be
Because
at?
he stole my rocks.
But yeah, so anyway, yeah, it was I don't know, it was stupid. It was so stupid. Yeah, but that's how I ended up here, kind of, sort of,
Yeah.
in a way.
I mean, I just wanted results. Like, I felt like, even as a kid, I was like, I don't think y'all know what y'all talking about.
Right. Yeah. It's just,
My kid tells you,
I
believe
don't
them.
think y'all know.
my thing about it is I would see people. I feel like in church I would see somebody completely different,
Absolutely.
and then when they leave that church, they wouldn't be that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I'm like,
That hurt my feelings.
Oh yeah, you're talking about thought on a Thursday, saint on a Sunday.
yeah, I'm kind of that idea. It's like you go into church, you're this person, and I like that person. I like the ideas of that person. Forgiveness,
Sure.
whatever. Right. When we leave that, it's kind of just like not
It's
that
not,
person,
yeah.
and I'm just like, but
What
the
happened?
door on that side of the door, and as a kid, I kind of seen that, and I'm like, I don't want to be that.
Right.
Like
Well, for me,
I don't
was
want to be
always
that.
at church. As a preacher's kid, I was always at church. Like, every day the church was open, we were there. Monday,
why the
Wednesday,
good shit goes
Friday.
down.
On Sunday, then we got to go to the other church to go to their program
Right.
Sunday afternoon. So I spent a lot of time just being that kid, because as a kid, you're to be quiet. You're
Right.
to be, you talk when you're talking to.
Right.
But I just sat back and I observed, and I'm like, you're nothing
Right.
like the person that you
Yeah.
pretend to be in
Yeah.
front of everybody else.
Yeah.
Because I'm quiet.
Yeah.
And because you have no need to hide who you are from me, because
For
you
me.
feel like I have no power.
Right.
When I see the real you, I'm like, that's not you.
Yeah, this
at
is
all.
not you at all. Like, why would that at a young age that kind of turned me away from Christianity.
And as a woman in church, a young girl in church going through puberty, you had those deacons that wanted to hug you a little long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I experienced, like, some of my worst experiences
was from the
was
church.
in church.
Yeah.
So I knew as soon as I was old enough to not have to go anymore.
Right. I was
I'm
not going. And
I'm not going.
I would say now that I'm probably I don't believe in organized religion. I believe there's something.
Absolutely, that's where I am.
I don't know for 100% sure, but there's gotta be something
gotta be
bigger. But I
something.
don't believe in like going physically to a church.
I
Yeah.
think all the religions have a little piece of it,
Mhm.
and then the rest are off.
Yeah. Kinda. That's how I feel.
Everybody got a little piece that's right,
Right.
Yeah.
and the rest is kind of like they're guessing, or somebody just kind of made it up as they went.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I am now. So.
But I can't take. It's been too many times where things should have went completely left and they didn't.
Right.
And I cannot take the credit for it. I know that wasn't me that fixed it. So I'm like, there's something pulling some strings that I can't see.
Yup.
I knew that. Now, is it what y'all saying it is?
Right.
I can't say for sure, but something exists. I knew
Right.
that. But I'm like, this
Yeah.
ain't it. And if it was it,
Right.
y'all would be better people.
Yeah. That's what I'm.
There will be better results.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
most of the poorest people are Christian people.
Yeah.
How are y'all struggling so bad?
Yeah.
If what you're doing works.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Like I said, most of these celebrities who are successful practice.
Yeah.
For one reason, spirituality taught me that I'm a God within my own right. I'm a God within my own right.
Mm-hmm.
And even from the Christian point of view, you can't tell me that I am the child of God and I'm not at least half God. My
Right,
daddy
true.
is God. So
Right.
they don't even make sense. How you gonna tell me my daddy God, but
Right.
you are no part God?
Yeah.
I gotta be. My daddy God.
Oh, I could go on and on and on all day about how I hate Christianity.
Christianity
I really
teaches
do.
you to sit back and wait for something to save you
To
when
happen
nothing
when you
is
can
coming
get your
to
ass up
save
and
you.
do it yourself.
Nothing's coming to save
Yeah.
you. Save yourself.
Yeah.
This is your. I think hell is real, but I think hell is dying and then realizing I blew it, and your soul having to sit with that.
Yeah.
Because once again, energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred.
Yeah.
So imagine you find out, okay, so this was my time to be inhuman, right? The energy that I came from, I'm going back to it. This was my time for the human experience,
Right.
and I blew it.
Yeah.
I did not get the full
I didn't.
experience that I was supposed to get. Oh, when I go, I'm gonna be like, woo,
Yeah.
that was fun.
For real.
I
I'm
had
gonna
a
meet you in
blast,
space and be like,
guys.
shit was lit, right?
This shit was lit.
You see, remember the rocks? Remember the rocks? Yeah, fuck them rocks. I don't need that shit no more.
That time they had took your rocks, you still mad?
Hell no. See, that's the thing. I tell people, bro, I don't care. When I die, I'm dead. What the fuck I care? I don't care what you do to me.
Right.
Just don't do me like they did that rapper.
This is a me.
You see that shit?
The one that went to the club?
Yeah.
I don't know now. Because I don't know.
No.
I might want to do it.
I'm
Take
not
me
that
to the
vain.
club one last time.
No, please not.
Nah, I'm
Take
not
me
that
one-
vain.
Take me one last
not.
time. This is my last
good.
party, son.
If you wonder what we're talking about, we did a reaction.
It just looks weird. Does
It's-
it not?
I wouldn't need, if I didn't know that was happening
Right.
and I went to the club, I'd be like, what that dead guy over there?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's a whole dead guy in the corner. Am I not? Isn't that weird? God. You turning up.
I got a question.
Yeah, you taking shots
Is
back.
he okay?
Yeah. Why the guy
Oh,
ain't
he
moving?
dead.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
get
you
it.
just y'all just brought me to the club one last time. Okay. You know
I'll
what?
be like, Pam, grab your sage.
Got it.
Speaking of, speaking of, so I got you a couple things because
Did you really?
I love gifts.
I
yes.
love surprises.
Hand me that back for me. I got you a couple things. Not nothing crazy, but I did
I
get
love
you a couple
surprises.
things.
Anytime someone thinks of me at all, I'm always thankful. Ooh, what's this? I'm so excited. Let's
Yeah,
see.
so I got you a couple things that I know you're on your spiritual journey, so thought I'd help you out a little
Yes.
bit.
Ashtray, bitch.
Yeah, that's a different kind of spiritual journey.
Yes.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Black sage?
Yep.
I don't
Got some
have any
black
black
sage
sage.
from me to you.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
I
you're
really
welcome.
appreciate this.
Yeah.
This is so sweet. I love surprises. Anytime someone works hard for their money, receive it, and they go, you know what? I'm going to spend some on you. That makes me feel good. I don't care if it's a piece of candy. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, no, anytime. Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for coming down here and doing a podcast and
No
spending the time to come out
problem.
here.
I just love talking shit anyway, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, this is right up your alley, baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right
for
up your alley.
real.
Absolutely.
That's legit what we do.
So.
Yeah, it's so many things that like I think of when I think of spirituality as a whole. It's not so much of like, that okay, there's a God or there's, this God or whatever. No,
I am God.
It's the fact that I think of it this way, right? That shit's lit, ain't it?
It's
It's
delicious.
so good.
I
Be
am
careful
God.
though.
Yeah,
'cause,
but it
I'm
will.
like,
it'll catch
It
you.
will sneak
It
up
will
on
catch
you.
you, yeah.
Trust me.
I'm gonna sleep on your couch. So I sober.
That's fine. Stay here if you want. Yeah, no, I get it. Trust me. But anyway, so I think of spirituality as this crazy thing that we don't understand because we were shined away from so much of it. Like my grandmother was a witch. My great grandmothers were witches. We moved from Salem, Massachusetts, down this way. We
Wow,
were
okay.
legit in that era. You know what I mean?
okay.
When you follow my ancestry, you understand where we come from.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, like a lot of my great ancestors were Vikings. Some
Okay.
of them were Anglo-Saxons. Pagan ran through me, and I never understood why I was the way I was. And then when I started to understand, like how paganism works, and the more I journeyed through it, the more I was like, hey, that makes
This
sense
makes
why
sense.
I am the way I am. Okay, so yeah, I'm not an asshole. I'm just that guy. I never even knew it. I love spiritual shit. I really do, because you see so much of stuff. You're like when you see a car wreck and you see how bad it was, and you see 3 people standing outside, nobody's in a body bag. You're like, how the hell did the dude survive that?
Exactly.
Could be great engineering. I ain't gonna take that away from him. Could be luck, or
I don't believe in
could be
love.
something else. So it's like when everybody has that moment.
Right.
Absolutely.
Everybody has a moment in their life where like, wait, what if?
Yeah.
For me,
I think that moment is important.
it's very important. For me, it happened like the girl I spoke to. She kind of like brought me into the spiritual world and made it to where it wasn't so weird to me. But I feel like at one point she got to a point where she had to teach me all that she could teach me, right? So I go to this little store, and it's a little botanica, and I'm walking around all this cool spiritual stuff, like the stuff you just bought. I'm like, this stuff is so neat. Like, I don't know how to use it, but I'm like, I'm just really intrigued by this store.
Right.
So the owner of the store, I walk in and immediately she just stares at me, like not even blinking, and she's not even trying to hide the fact that she's staring. She's just staring at me. So I'm like walking around like, okay, like I'm looking back like, okay, why they like staring at me? So finally she walks up to me after I had picked up some things, and just were things that I was drawn to. I had no reason to want them. I was like, I think I'm just gonna buy this for the sake of being in here.
Right.
And she said, what made you buy that stuff? What made you pick that stuff in particular? And I was like,
Yeah.
And then she looked at me and she was like, you can see spirits, can't you? And I froze, because I can. I'm like, how do you know, lady? And she said, you need to embrace your gifts. Because if you were sent here to do these things, and if you're not doing them, then there is no reason for you to be here. And they will call you home. So I'm like freaking out at this point. Like, I don't want to go home.
I don't want to go home.
I don't want to. Wait, I'm not ready yet. Like,
Wait,
hold
no,
on.
I gotta go work tomorrow.
Right, exactly. And then she took me under her wing, and she practices Santeria. And she taught me everything I knew from that point, and she's still my mentor to this day. I go to her store whenever I have questions. We sit, we talk.
What's her store?
It's called Mojo's Botanica
Where's it at?
in Killeen, Texas.
Oh, okay.
I met her, and from there, everything started to make sense the same way it did for you. I was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. It saved my life. Because it really got to a point where I was like, if this is what life is, I'm cool on it.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
people
right,
think
right.
that they need an afterlife. But that afterlife is not guaranteed, but neither is life. So
Exactly.
why don't you just enjoy where you're at now?
Exactly.
And then we'll worry about the rest later.
Exactly. Because we all know it's something,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to worry about it until, I'm not going to cross that bridge literally until I get to it.
Yeah.
Right.
So spirituality overall taught me to take accountability for my own actions, for one.
Yeah.
And most of the time, nobody's hexing you. You don't have no bad juju. You just make shitty decisions. That's really what it boils down to.
Well, because when you look at life as a whole, life is literally just decisions.
Decisions that you
And
make. And
you have to live with some that you made that you really wish you would have did something different. And you have to live with the ones that you're okay with. And you have to live with the ones that you're not okay with.
And that's what I mean by this is your
all life
shot
is.
to be for whatever reason.
Just be you.
The energy that is you, since it can't be it can only be transferred. The energy that is you decided it wants to be human.
Yeah.
It wants to be a human. So since you are one,
I want to be an alien.
enjoy it. Me too. I feel like they won't come get us.
I want to
because
be an
Earth is
alien
ghetto.
so I can come here and fuck with humans.
But Earth is so ghetto. I feel like when
I
they
think,
rise by
yeah.
Earth, they lock their
They lock their door.
They lock their
Damn,
doors.
Chris, you
Roll up
said
the
that
window.
before.
Yeah.
You said
It's so ghetto here.
It is.
It is so ghetto.
that's
Yeah,
funny
we were
because
so
he
stupid.
said that to me before, and I'm just like,
Yup.
huh? Other people think that too. That's funny.
Yeah, I've said that a couple times.
It's
now.
very ghetto here. It doesn't make a lot of things don't make sense. So why would they stop
Well, it
here?
makes sense when
I'm
you
like,
look
but
at where we
I'm
came
different
from.
than
We were
them. You
apes.
guys, come get me. I'm one of the cool ones.
Like
Come get
when
me.
you look at the animal kingdom and you look at the way we act, I don't see a very big disconnect.
No.
I don't. When you look at the way chimps they get jealous. They want all the women for
They're
themselves. They
actually
want to
better-
ask out the
better
the
parents
guys.
than
The
we
bigger
are.
the bigger male wins. When you start looking at stuff like that, and then you start looking at humans, you're like, huh. They do dancing rituals. That's why we in the club. It starts to no, I'm serious. Like it really starts to make sense when you start looking at the animal kingdom. You're
Absolutely.
like, oh, I get it. Yeah, we kind of are from them.
I get that we're that, but at the same time, I feel like we're humans. But I get what we do.
We still have animal.
Yeah,
instincts.
no,
Animal
for sure,
instincts, yeah.
for sure, yeah. But
That's why I love the six senses. Because you have the regular five, right? You can see, you can taste, you can smell, you can hear, you can feel. But it's that sixth sense that really fucks with me. It's when you know something's about to happen. You know somebody's staring at you.
And that's the only thing that
You
makes a
get that
difference in
feeling
animals.
around you like something's not right. You get that gut feeling.
Right.
That's evolution, baby. We've grown to understand that that around the corner, you know, are dangers,
Absolutely.
and so we grew to understand that shit. When you hear something in the middle of the night and you wake up and you don't know why, there's been plenty of times I woke up and I'm staring in one direction and I don't know why. It's weird. Yeah, I have a lot of weird things that happen to me. A lot. Like I couldn't even go. I could go into
Are they
rants
really
all
weird,
day about
though?
it. I remember the weirdest thing that ever happened to me. I'll tell you the story. I was actually on church grounds. Yeah, I was on church grounds. This is a true story. Cancel me if you want to. I was standing outside. I was a kid. I was like 13, 14, almost 14. I moved out when I was 14, so probably like 13 at the time. And I was standing on church, and I used to go to church with a couple of girls, I was talking to at the time, whatever. And this guy came up out of nowhere, and he was like, "You wouldn't happen to have 53 cents, do you?" Now, mind you, it's an odd number to be asking
53.
for one, right? This is a true story. I shit you not. And I was like, I don't think so. So I reach in my pocket and I pull out, and I shit you not, I had 53 cents. So I gave it to him. I turned around and looked at my friend. I was like, dude, that was weird. I looked back, I was gone. Now, mind you, when you look at how this church is laid out, I could pull it up if I could. But the way the church is laid out, it's like so you're on a main road. The church is right here. And there's a long parking lot that goes this way and wraps around, but it's long. And then there's us. We're right here where the doors are. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way he could have just up and left. It was a strange experience. It was one of those things where I was just like, that
Look
just
up
happened.
the meaning of 53. Just out of curiosity.
You have to unlock it.
You sure it was 53 to be exact?
Yep. I'll never forget it. It was 53. What's the meaning? Look it up, Fred. What's the meaning of 53? I'll let him do it.
Just out of curiosity. I feel like
I don't know. It was really
I feel like
weird
that's
because I didn't have
important.
any money. So that was the crazy part. I had no money on me. But all of a sudden, I reached in my pocket. I had 53 cents. And that's exactly what this guy's asking for. It was a really strange occurrence that just happened to happen. It was one of the
That
things
was
that
a
make you
test.
sit back for a while and just go, what
was the
fuck
point of
was
that?
Like, it was so weird. And it's such an odd number.
That number
Okay,
is
so
important.
it depends. It's
Let's see. It's an angel number, 53.
And what does it say
Let
for
it go
that?
of negativity.
no, it says
So
is one of positivity and changes. This number assures that great changes are about to take place in your life. And you
Yeah, it did
should
because I moved
really-
out when I was 14. That's the best thing I ever did.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, that was one of the weirdest experiences I've had.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
53.
It's a very true story.
Hold on, I'm kind
Now
of
he's
curious.
curious.
No, because my favorite number is 14, and it's always been 14 for some reason.
You should look it up and see why.
I wore it in high school, and not high school, but I wore it in middle school, basketball, football, no matter what I
Do you
wore.
think that just could be why? Because you wore it and associates you with a good
No,
time?
I don't believe in coincidences.
So
So
I'm just
So
asking.
what I practice is it's kind of hard to communicate. We don't have a body, right? And energy cannot be destroyed. So your loved ones are communicating with you the best way they can, and the easiest way to communicate is through numbers. So when you see a number all the time, it's a good idea to look up that number and see what it means, because that's a message for you.
it says, since number 14 represents the immense pressure that a person will always have, it is necessary to develop the skill of patience, responsibility, and control.
And you know what? 'Cause I don't know if y'all know, but I am actually Fred's aunt. I know.
Yeah, I forgot to say that,
I
but
look
yeah, this
young.
is my aunt.
I look
Yeah,
young.
so-
Said I
I'm a
look
young
young.
auntie.
Yeah, so this is my aunt.
But that's one thing that I've always praised you for. Felt like you were, even as a kid, you had a sense of control and maturity that was beyond your years. So I'm not surprised at all.
You know what? That's crazy. Okay, never mind.
I'm
That's
serious.
crazy
I'm
because
just
like
saying.
I've told him this. I've always felt like amongst my peers that I felt like I was. You know the.
I'm sorry.
You know the.
You've always been that way.
You know the old, not the old, the back in the day black hood movies, like in the hood. Let's just say Boys in the Hood.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who was like, "Hey, let's open up our. Why are we doing this? Let's." I always felt
Talking about
like
the Muslim dude?
Yeah, like I always
hat?
felt I always felt like the guy that was like more mature than everybody, trying to
You
get people
always
to
have
do
been.
do stuff right.
It's hard to be that guy.
It really is.
And I
hard
never
to be
understood
that guy.
why.
It's what they say.
It's your role.
It's hard to be a genius amongst clowns.
That's
It is.
that's weird how that number relates to that. What the?
Hey, man, you know.
I told you I don't believe in coincidences. There you go. Boom, bam.
You
welcome.
spirituality.
You're welcome. But yeah, I've always said that. I was like, of his siblings, Fred gonna be all right. He gonna be all
Damn,
right.
that's crazy because a lot of people have
He
said
gonna be
that, and
alright.
it.
That's why I cut for Fred harder than anybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can
I
see
already
why.
knew.
I
I was
get
like,
it.
Fred was gonna be the guy.
He's gonna be okay.
Yeah, he'll be alright.
He has the mindset, so he'll be okay. He has it naturally, and that's beautiful.
Damn.
Some people are
That's
just
crazy.
born with it. I was one of those kids that was just like I said, I would look at the adults and go, "You don't know what you're doing."
Yeah.
Mm.
But it's okay because one day I'll be in control, so it's cool. I'm gonna let you rock for now.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're constantly seeing a certain number all the time, look it up. Just look it up.
That was for me 14. I always had interest in number 14, and when I got the chance to wear it, I was like, okay, this is the only number I'm gonna wear. So in basketball, football, no matter what, it was 14.
Yep.
That's
Numbers
crazy.
are an easy way to communicate.
Yep. 7's always been my favorite number. I always wanted it to be 8, which is weird, but 7 has always been my favorite number.
That's a good number though.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. It always just has been.
It's not 7 is a good number.
Yeah. I always liked 8. I don't know why. What is our obsession with numbers? You ever thought about that for a second? Like, why do we just like numbers? They're just numbers.
No, or are they? Or are they
maybe
just
they're
numbers?
different.
Depends on what you believe.
Exactly.
You look at it from an atheist standpoint, everything's just random. You
I
live in a
don't believe
randomized world.
that.
But if you look at it from a spirituality point, then everything is a set way.
For me to believe that would only make me angry.
What do you mean?
Okay, but that's up for you to deal with your anger.
What do you, no,
No.
I'm
Compartmentalize
To
it.
believe that everything is completely random. That means people who suffer, they just
they're just random. They got the
Randomly
short
suffering.
end.
It's
As
the
I say,
same
kinda.
way when you look at like a stillborn child, right? Like it was, what's the point of that? So when you look at, I get why people are atheists, because when you look at the idea of a God, especially in Christianity, you look at a God that is know-all and can do all these great and amazing things, but then you look at halfway around the world with people suffering, dying from diseases.
But see, in my lifestyle, we
like-
don't believe that God knows
see what I'm
all and is
saying?
all powerful.
Yeah, but
that's what
your
made
lifestyle,
me
but
angry.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
exactly.
That's why I can never understand their viewpoint.
Sure.
Because if God was so great and wonderful, then why are these kids having to suffer?
That was
Why
always my
are
question.
why are we having to suffer from all these things that are going on? Why do we have to be the ones to do this?
I used
We're
to-
paying for the sins of our father,
Right.
even though they don't believe that.
But
It's like
all
this
I
whole
used to
thing-
hear is that was the devil. That's
Yeah.
not God.
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
like, but
yeah. Oh,
God
yeah, that's the
knows
favorite
everything.
go-to. No, but that's the go-to. See, as long as you have an enemy, you have a reason to hate something.
Yeah, you're right.
And so
You're
as
right.
long as you have an enemy that you could point the finger at, that God is always going to be great, and that guy is always going to be wrong. But look at Satan. What did he do?
I think God and
What did he
Satan are
do?
the same
He thought he
person.
could do better than you. So you cast him out into the middle of fucking, some lake of fire, right? Let's look at it from a Christian standpoint.
But that also shows that all those negative emotions even exist.
yeah, God needed
in
therapy,
heaven.
if you ask me.
I mean,
God couldn't
I
have
don't-
hatched it out?
This
Couldn't
is
have
my
talked it
biggest
out?
thing that made me mad of the story. Like, as a parent,
Right.
if I had a loaded gun and I set it on my living room, on my coffee table in my living room, and I told my kids, 8, 10, and 12, you can touch anything in here, but don't touch that loaded gun.
Right.
If my kid picked up that gun and shot themselves, who would they blame?
You.
So, God put this tree
Full of
in the
apples.
middle of the garden
With apples.
and said, "Don't touch that tree." Why did you put it there
In the first
in
place.
the first place?
I'm not trying to be sexist, but it was women.
No, no, and see that's the whole thing about the Bible story.
It was
And it's
Eve.
like
It's
Eve
Eve's
is not
fault.
to blame because God never talked to Eve about that. Who did he tell the rules to?
Adam.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he talked-
well, that's the problem. You told a dude, and the dude forgot. He was like, shit, I forgot to tell her about the goddamn tree.
Not only did she eat it, but he
Shit.
partook of it too. When he of anyone
Yeah, he was tempted.
knew better.
After he seen
She had
her
that
do it, he
snatch.
was like, hey, I
Why
guess I like
not?
that
That
bad.
snatch is powerful. Make a man do anything.
Uh-huh.
That's what it was.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what they
She was
say.
like, eat some apples. He's like, no. And she was like, remove my maple leaf. And
'Cause
was
he
like,
could've
I'll
been
do it.
like-
I like apples.
But that's the thing,
Started
like
making apple pie right there.
the knowledge of they gained the knowledge of good and bad. They didn't even realize they were naked until they ate.
Ah, that story's too played out. It's the same thing with Pandora's box. There's a reason I don't believe in half that shit.
Yeah.
Christianity is nothing but bought and sold product and propaganda.
Sure.
And
I
that's
believe
why
it's a whole bunch of stuff mixed
The,
together.
that's why I went the spiritual route.
But
So you
that's
get a
why I
lot
love
more
the
answers in
Orisha.
spirituality than you'll ever get in an organized religion.
But that's why I love the Orisha, because they admitted that they are flawed. I was
Yep.
like, I can accept Christianity if you will admit that God has flaws.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me that he's perfect,
Can't do it.
there's no way he's perfect and then created something so imperfect unless that's what he wanted to happen.
Right.
Yeah, but how big of an ego do you have? That you were all this great and wonderful shit, and then you just created a bunch of apes. So you can watch them throw shit at each other.
Right? I was like, the
And then
way y'all
stand
make
there
God
like you're the
sound,
greatest thing ever.
like if I believe Christianity,
Come on,
I
man,
have
get
to
out,
believe
man.
that God is
Get out.
like the biggest reality TV show fan in the world.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's watching destruction.
that he created.
Yeah, he created.
Yeah.
He's just like ah.
And if he knows all things, he knew this was going to happen
Right.
before he created it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for me to believe this story, I have to believe God is one of the biggest assholes
Yeah.
ever to
100%.
exist.
Well, hold my beer. I'll have you know. I've been told by kids.
You're
No.
a dick.
Yeah, for real. I was like, all right, dude. That happened.
But to even have that temptation there, like why?
Right.
Why?
Right.
Why? Why?
Why would you do that? As a
Right.
parent, I would never leave something that's gonna hurt my kids. I wouldn't even give them the option in the first place to hurt
Yeah.
themselves with it.
Right.
No, I mean, I get, yeah. No, I get
So when
your
I asked
point.
that question, they're like, that's blasphemy. You don't
Because
ask
of
questions
the
like
devil.
that.
The devil
No,
did
the devil didn't make him
Yeah,
put that
devil,
tree
I'm
there.
fuck
Right.
that shit.
That was the
The
devil.
devil was only using the tools that was available to him. If he didn't put the tree there, the devil could
The
never
fact
tempt him to
that-
eat from it.
The fact that you won't admit that the devil outsmarted God on more than one occasion. Look at the idea of Judas, right? Or what was it, Job? It was Job.
That
The-
story
the
makes
life
me
of
mad.
Job,
if I was Job
right?
or my mama, somebody gotta fight me.
Bro,
and I
so
mean that.
you know the story
Somebody
of
finna
Job,
fight
right?
me.
I think I'm familiar
So
with
okay,
that.
so this is the Chris version of Job. So
Somebody
Job,
gotta
here I
fight
am. He's
me.
like, I got a farm, I got a wife, shit's cool, we cruising,
And I love God.
everything's straight, and I'm a God guy.
Right.
And
That's my
the
God.
devil comes to God, right? And he was like, I bet you if you fuck this dude over sideways, that he will eventually renounce you. And God was like, Psh,
No, he
nah,
won't.
not Job. That's my dude.
That's my guy.
That's
He'll-
my guy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
He'll never turn on
and
me.
so Satan was like, well, what you want to do? You want to make a bet? And God was like, say less. So he kills his entire farm. Then took his wife, all
Killed his
his
wife,
kids,
killed
killed
all his
all his animals. He just fucked them over, right?
Then
Just
gave
left
him
this dude
diseases. He
with
was
nothing.
almost dead.
Yeah, gave him diseases. And then at the end of the day, he was like, God, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, right?
It's cool. It's fine.
That was the thing. He was like, it's cool. God's got me, right? So the devil gets mad and God gives him all this shit back. But my point is, what the fuck was the point of that? You got outsmarted.
Like on my mama, you just made
You
me.
just got outsmarted.
You just made me lose my wife and my kids to
For
prove a
nothing.
point.
To prove a point.
On my mama, you
To a
lame
dude-
for that.
To prove a point to a dude who ain't even in your house no more. What the
And why
fuck?
you even talking to him in the first place? He
Right.
I love it. Shit, Christians are fucking funny, man.
I was sitting in Bible study like, this don't make no sense.
Yeah. Oh, like, so we just gonna ignore the fact that God got outsmarted?
On my
All right.
mama, God, help me.
Right.
Help me.
Help me.
Why you let him do this?
Facts.
to prove
thought
that
that-
prove that I love you? Like that's kind of narcissist.
Yeah.
Really?
like
if
if
you
you-
think about it, yeah, really.
Like if you, like to believe the Bible, I have to believe that God is one of the most evil people
Yep.
to ever existed.
Oh, yeah. And my favorite part is how many of our religions they took and then turned it
They
into
just kind
theirs.
of added them all together. A big
Yeah.
smorgasbord.
Bro, I was watching. Oh, I should have pulled up the video. I was watching this thing on Easter, right? Because I know what Easter's
And that's
for.
a fertility ritual.
Yeah. So I know what Easter's for, but Christians don't understand where the bunny and the whole egg thing come from, right?
Ishtar.
So this is true. I was writing and oh my God, I got so mad. I got so mad. I wanted to break my phone. So I was watching this Christian and he was sitting here and he was describing, yes, okay. He admits, he's like, yeah, so, it's a pagan ritual, amongst fertility or whatever. And he was like, but it's okay for us to celebrate it because, it's Easter Bunny and God. That's the layman's term of what he said. I should have pulled the video because I knew you were coming here, and I got so damn mad. I was like, bro, how do you take something that people use as like a fertility ritual and turn it into your own shit?
Well,
I was
I
like,
learned it
oh,
in
well, that's
school.
right, because you did the same thing with Christmas. You did the same thing with like every fucking holiday that we've ever had ever, and that's why I don't fuck with y'all.
But then
I
they
learned it in
shame
school.
Halloween. That's weird. Well, that's
Why
another
learned it in
story.
school? They did it on purpose. So when they went around and they were conquering these lands and they made them become Christians,
Right.
to
Oh,
make
okay,
them
yeah.
more comfortable with Christianity, they took their views and kind of merged them on purpose. Like
You
even
know
a
what?
lot of the art is actually
That
art
makes
from pagan
so
religions.
much sense.
Yeah,
That
they merged
makes
them on
so
purpose.
much sense.
When I studied religion from a like one of my textbooks in college was the Bible, and we studied it from a literary point of view, not in church point of view.
So you don't think that Jonah actually got swallowed by a whale? That was the point.
No.
Okay.
I think a lot of stuff are symbolisms. And also, so of course, a lot of people know, like, the Bible was, the original Bible was in a sacred language, and that different people from the village were trained to read that language, right? They were the only people who were able to read it. And you would have to go to that person only. So you couldn't read the Bible. You had to go to him and let him tell you what it said, right? But that's when King James came into the picture, and he wanted to create a Bible that everyone could read. So they had to translate it. So what they did was they put everybody in that room who could translate, and they voted. Because the language was so complex. Like, one thing for sure that we do know, the verse that says that the being homosexual is a sin, it wasn't homosexual, it was pedophilia. But in translation, it all got lost. So within this book, they literally put these people in a room, and everybody gave their translations, and where they didn't agree, they voted.
Damn. So if like, oh, I don't agree with that, let's vote it out.
Right. They voted. So what does this say? If 5 people say this, and then 6 people say it says this, the 6 people win, and that's what we put into the book.
So that's why it's called the King James version.
The King
of the
James
Bible.
version, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's not the original.
No, it's not. It's not the original text.
Yeah, I don't know. That makes sense.
So like I said,
Everything you said makes 100% sense
because
to me.
when I studied it in school, it threw me. Because that was the first time. Like I said, I'm a preacher's kid, so I was very familiar with the Bible. My son's name is Azariah. I got his name from the Bible. Very familiar with the Bible. But this was the first time I looked at it from an unbiased point of view. Just looking at the text and then learning the history of Christianity, the actual history of it.
Yeah.
When you combine all that stuff together, you're like,
What the fuck?
I don't think y'all know what y'all was talking about.
Yeah. I've been saying that. I've been saying that since they took my
Like
rocks.
the actual history of Christianity. Like, a lot of people don't realize that the Muslim religion and the Christianity are the same thing.
Well, when you look at the
The backstory is the same. Where they differ is Jesus.
So you look at a side. I
That's
did
the
it. I
difference.
did. Well, not I didn't. I didn't. There was a guy who was a Norse pagan that did a side-by-side comparison of Norse paganism and Christianity. And when you look at it, it's damn near identical. And I was like, oh. I didn't understand why until you said what you said. When they were going around conquering lands, they had to get pagans to come over to the dark side.
Dark
That's
side.
what I'm gonna call it, right? So what they did was they made it more relatable, and that's why we have Christmas and Easter and all this other shit instead of the the equinox celebrations and the Esther celebrations, and we don't have yeah. So
And
it
I'm finna
makes
blow
a lot
your
of
mind
sense.
with this one. Wait a minute. So the sun, right, has 12 constellations that rotates around it.
Yeah,
The sun,
right. That's the 12 months of the year, right?
the 12 constellations, the astrology signs,
Right.
and they rotate around the sun. And Easter is when the sun is at its highest point. It
right.
has risen.
Right. Yeah.
Astrology is Christianity as well.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing.
Oh, I didn't think about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The
No, there was a
12
guy. If you ever watch
disciples, the 12 signs.
What's it called? You watch a documentary called Zeitgeist. He explains that in the very beginning. It's the sun. Yeah, it's
Damn.
the Esther and the equinox. It's when the sun.
And you wonder why Easter always changes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Easter is always on a different date.
Damn.
Easter is on that date because that is the date that the sun is at its highest place in the sky, and that's always different.
Yeah. Yep.
The sun rose from winter.
Yeah.
Like literally, the sun rose.
Yeah. And then you go back. If you go back and look
Oh.
at, like, say, for instance, like Egyptians, right? So when you go back and look at their, whole thing, they had Horus, which is the sun god, right? If I'm not mistaken.
The sun
Correct me if
god,
I'm wrong.
absolutely.
And then what was the sun? What was the night god? What was his name?
Amra? Not Amra.
Something like that.
So anyway,
I know who you're talking about.
they
though.
would
Yeah.
have to fight it out, right? This is their belief. They had to fight it out to, so when the sun god won, it became day, and then when the night god won, it became night, right? So when you look at that, but then you also look at some of the other or earlier texts that you see in Egyptian culture, and you see that there's a lot of the whole virgin, kid being born out of the virgin and like, rose and died and rose on the third day and all this other stuff. And it's so far back, predates Christianity. Christianity wasn't even dated when Jesus was around.
Remix.
It's the remix.
It's the remix. It's the remix to all the all religions.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's crazy to it's crazy to read some of that stuff, and you're just like, damn.
It all ties together.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you realize it's all BS.
Yeah. You're like, wait a minute. So that's
Yeah.
why people get angry, because they've built their whole life off of this information.
Yeah.
Kenu.
So when
Kenu.
you shake,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's who it was. Kenu.
Yeah.
So when you pull that information from them and prove it to be
Right.
not necessarily fact,
Yeah.
they have a meltdown.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I've literally built my whole life around this, and you're telling me it's not.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah. That's why I have a like as a kid, and I realized that as a kid, which is weird because I'm like, wait, this don't make sense. You're grown, and I know you know it don't make sense.
But when,
So why-
when something's been drilled in you
I'm just,
since a kid, you accept it.
Repetitive.
I was like, bro, this don't make sense. I'm not accepting this until
was me
you
as a
make
kid.
it
Make
it
sense to me.
sense to me.
And they never
They
could.
never could, and I was just like,
Have you heard of like the whole Christian movement where they're saying that dinosaurs were never real?
Yes.
And that they're actually just stones.
That was a test from the devil.
Yeah.
No, seriously, they
Yeah,
say that.
no,
Those
no,
are
yeah.
tests from the devil.
Yeah.
If you have real fossils, that's a lie, and the devil gave you that.
Yeah.
That's not real.
Yeah. Even though they have DNA in them.
So
Right.
you're lying.
Yeah, because I just think it's funny.
But that's why I love the Orisha.
So we just took a bunch of different rocks and stuck them together and happened to make an animal out of
because
them.
you
But we found them in the same exact
lie and the
place
truth ain't in you, and you
that
the
would have
devil.
made sense for them to live
I don't
millions of
believe
years
you.
ago.
I don't believe you.
Right. It's Big Paleo. Big Paleo's coming over here. And it's so full of shit.
It's wild. It's like, I just want y'all to use y'all brain just a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me to say that's a lie, I mean, if they say my mom's lying, my dad's lying, my grandparents are lying, it takes a lot of bravery
Yeah, and
to stand up and say, I'm not
Yeah.
going along with this.
And I was that kid. I was
Yeah,
like, you know what? I'm gonna be quiet and just go along. But once I get to an age where I can
Make my own
make
decision.
my own decisions, I'm gonna make that decision at
For
that
myself.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
for myself.
Same for me. I was like, I'm not going to rock the boat too much. I don't
Right.
have a choice.
Yeah, because I'm a kid. What am I do?
But
If
the
I
Bible
tell
says, train them up as a child,
yeah,
and they will go the way you want them to go.
and I
They
was
literally taught you to brainwash.
Nah,
You're a
fam.
child.
Yeah,
Nah.
well, they also taught it was okay to, obey your slave master.
Exactly. But that was the king. And once again, this is the King James
So,
version.
yeah. So, fuck 'em.
So it benefited him.
Mm.
It also
tell
benefited
people-
him to not have it say pedophilia.
You ever
But
want to
that's a whole other
like check this
conversation.
out? You ever want to get kicked out of a church real quick? Just ask and be like, hey, how many people have hung people and killed in the name of Jesus?
It's like when you study the history of Christianity,
Yeah,
it's brutal.
it is. It's nasty. It's nasty shit.
It's brutal.
But isn't
old
every
day pagans
religion
were no
like
better.
sure.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
honestly,
deny that.
Not always.
that? Mhm.
Depends on which one you're talking about. Depends on which one you're talking about. Like I said, that's why I love when I finally heard the story of the Orisha, which is what I practice. I was like, okay, I can understand that. They're flawed.
Yeah.
Each Orisha has their strengths. Each Orisha has the thing that they're good for. And that's what you call them for. And that's it.
Yeah.
And they used to be human, they have flaws. Like, I'm the daughter of Oya. Oya has a very hot temper. That's her flaw.
Yeah.
She can overreact with her temper.
Sounds like me.
And like you had Shango. Like I asked them, like I
sounds
asked
like
them,
me.
where was God during slavery? Where was he at?
Yeah, where was he at? He took a break.
And
Was he
then
on vacation?
And the Orisha would tell you, oh, Shango was out there with a little thought, and he wasn't there to protect. That's what happened. And I'm like, okay, I can get with that.
Yeah, Zeus did the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And see, it's a correlation between Zeus and Shango.
yeah.
Depending on it's all the same information.
It's all the same. Well, it all comes from
Just
the Hebrews.
remixed.
You have to think about, like, you have to go way back to find out, the origins of a lot of religions that we have now are Hebrew. Yeah.
Like a Venus is thought to be in the African in religion. That's Oshun.
Yeah.
Same person. Depends on who you ask, who that is. Same people.
Yeah. Well,
You keep digging, it all ties back to the same information, slowly but surely. So I'm like, okay, this makes more sense to me. But you just not finna just tell me anything. I'm not gonna believe you just because you're a grown up, because I'm watching y'all and I don't know what y'all doing.
But that's the biggest part about moving from a religion to a spirituality. Even if it's
Absolutely.
agnostic, even if you just think, yeah, there's something out there, but I don't know what it is, so
I
I'm
don't
not
know
gonna be
what
a
it
thought. Doesn't matter. The thing is like moving away from a religion is hard because you've had those values
Right.
embedded in you for
Right.
so long that it's so hard to break those.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Emotion, that's a lot to be like, Mom, you didn't know
I'm
what you were
pagan.
talking about.
I'm a sex guy. That's what we are. No, we dedicated a fucking holiday to fucking. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So the thing is like, how can I do that, but then still at the same time be like, oh, but I can't do it till I'm married. That wasn't even a thing. Like, from my instance, didn't do that shit.
Marriage was not a thing.
No, but we invented marriage.
Marriage is a business agreement.
Right?
It's
Yep.
a business
Yep.
agreement.
But pagans created marriage, and
Absolutely.
Christianity's use it to villainize gay people who want to get married. But that's not even your fucking thing, dude. So, like, how can you take what we have and use it against us?
I agree.
And that's the thing that I get really.
Yeah.
I will fight. Do you understand?
I just go, oh, look, poor little ting ting. You're a little confused. That's all.
It's so
I'm a little
stupid.
confused.
It's so stupid. It gets me.
Because if I get to ask you the right questions, you're going to want to fight me.
Right.
Because I'm
Oh,
shaking
yeah.
the whole core of who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm shaking the whole core of who you are and what you believe. So,
So
I'm
are-
not going to even open this door.
I will say. I want to ask you this question. Since you know this now,
Mm-hmm.
would you go back and question those who believe that, or just be like, hey,
No.
look, no, you just let them believe what
There's
they?
no good in it. There's no good in it
Hmm.
until they're ready, and they're not ready. It's like when I got to that point, I was ready
Yeah.
to receive the information.
Right.
But I've literally lost friends that way. And I used to be
Yeah, I
like
have
when I
too.
first learned the information, I was so mind blown and ready to share it. I was so confused that people were getting upset. I'm
Yeah.
like, why are you getting mad at me?
Yeah, the more they tried to bury the truth, the easier it was to find.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was right in front of our face the whole time, but we just never really looked at it.
I was like, you mean to tell me the answer's in the sky the whole time? Like
Right.
the stars is the answer? Yeah, y'all could have just told me that from the beginning. Like I
Right.
couldn't believe how simple it is. But
See,
it's
that's a thing that I don't like nowadays. There's a lot of people are waking up into spiritual reality, and they're kind of understanding like, oh, okay, so I'm moving away from my religion. Where do I start? There's no real start to this.
No.
Right.
You kind of just have to follow what you think. But what really irritates me, and it's you motherfuckers. What irritates me is the ones that
I
say,
like,
"Oh, I'm a Capricorn, so that's why I'm this way."
And no,
Oh,
and it's
I'm an
so
Aries,
much
so
deeper than
that's
that.
why I'm
Oh.
this way. No.
This is my
you
jam
don't
right
have
here.
the right. Look, just because a constellation of stars defines your character does not give you a right to be an asshole.
No, it
does
doesn't.
not give you a right to
Right.
be a whore, and it
does
does
not.
not give you a right to be a bad parent.
You agree? I
You
agree.
do not get the you do not get the privilege of being a shitty person because a constellation of stars made you that way.
Right.
And that is one thing I see a lot of, and it's one thing I call a lot of people out on.
Yeah. I mean,
And I
agree.
catch a lot of flack for it.
I agree.
Even amongst my own people.
So this is
Right.
why I love astrology. Like I love astrology, and one of my services that I offer is a birth chart breakdown. So a lot of people don't even realize that it's so much bigger than just your sun sign, and that's the only thing that most people tend to know
Right.
is their sun sign.
Yeah.
So basically, your birth chart, like I said, it's 12 constellations in the sky, constantly rotating around the sun, right? And they constantly move every every so many seconds they're moving. So the second that you were born, your birth chart is just a snapshot of exactly what the sky looked like the second that you became a human, right? There's so many different parts of your chart, and each part of your chart controls a different part of your psyche. And those things emote in the way that those signs emote. So no Capricorn is going to be exactly like the next one.
Yeah.
Everyone is going to be completely unique to that person, because that the way the sky looked at that moment is very unique, and it won't happen again for a very, 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 very long time, more than likely, if ever, right? So, but once you get that blueprint, you can see yourself clearly. Once you can see yourself clearly, you can identify your strengths and make those stronger. You can make your weaknesses better. So once I learned that was mind blowing within itself. Once I actually got my birth chart, I read it. It was scary that this thing, who had this computer, who didn't know me,
Right.
literally describes me to a T.
Damn.
I'm like, this is creepy.
Right.
And then once I started doing everyone around me birth chart, I was like, yo, they own to something. like I cannot lie. Like, everything this chart says I should act like because of my birth chart, it was accurate.
Damn.
Yeah.
So it's like you have your sun sign, and then you hear the people that start talking about you have the sun sign in this house and the moon and this and that and conjunct this.
Right.
Like, once you learn those things, it helps you become more self-aware. It's not an excuse to be an asshole. Once you know better, you don't say, oh, this is the way I am.
Yeah.
No. Once you are self-aware, become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Let me ask you a question before I go on a rant. Was your journey through spirituality easy?
No.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. See, I hear a lot of
No.
people be like, "Oh, it was easy to move from this to that," and I'm like,
No.
"Yeah, you have
I'm
no
a
idea what
PK
you're
for
doing."
one.
Yeah,
So once I finally got through the whole self thing and working through myself and my own emotions and dropping ideas that no longer served me, and I became cool with it within myself, I then had to try to figure out, okay, so how is this going to affect everyone around me once I reveal that I'm even doing this? You know what I mean?
Right.
I lost so many people. Even people that were cool with it, they weren't okay with the new me. They wanted the old me back.
yeah, oh yeah, you're running that a lot, especially if you're doing shadow work.
Absolutely.
You're working on yourself, and you're kind of trying
And
to
that's
get
my
through
specialty.
your emotions, and you're trying to get through the childhood damage, and you're working your way to a better you. Along that way, you lose so many people,
And it broke my
hurts.
heart.
It does, because it hurts. It really does. But then when you get to that stage where you look back, you're like, yeah, it's probably for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
just look at it
something
like you were
a lot of people
pivotal
don't
to that
understand
point in my journey. But I look at myself almost like I'm murdering myself constantly and then becoming a new version of myself.
right.
The Pam I was 5 years ago doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
She doesn't exist anymore. She's dead.
Yeah.
I killed her.
Well, it's called growth.
Exactly. So if you want that 5 years ago Pam,
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
she's gone.
Yeah.
So you can accept this version of me
Or just move on.
or move on. And guess what? Don't even get too comfortable with this version of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to continue to grow and continue to get better. And in 5 years, I'm not going to be this
Yeah,
version of me anymore.
I've seen that with people that I've learned, like that I've known for a while, like, for a long time. Like they'll see me in pictures and they're like, "Why are you smiling?" Because I'm happy. Like I'm
it's-
sorry
it's
if you don't
cool
know
with
what
you,
that
right?
feels like.
It's cool
Right.
with
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm sorry your life's still shit, but I'm cool. I'm happy, so I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
All right.
And if you don't like it, block and
There's
unfollow.
always room to grow. There's always room to be better. And that's
Yeah.
always my goal. My only competition in life is the old me. How can I become better than I was?
Yeah.
How can I become better than I am now? It's not a competition against anyone else. I want everybody to win.
Yeah.
I want everybody to win. But I want to be when I leave here, once again, I want to be like, wow, I learned so much in my human experience. Like, my soul needed these lessons.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. My soul needed these lessons.
What do you think of Scientology?
I think it's a cult to brainwash you and get money. That's all. That's
What was
it.
it? Something Ray Hubbard. What was his name? John Ray.
They're one up there with the Mormons for me. That man said he put his head in the hole and came back. When he put his head out the hole, he had the holy text.
Yeah, and then couldn't read it, so he went back and got some more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, sure, I believe you.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
yeah, I
sure.
totally believe
Yeah.
your golden
Sure.
shit.
Yeah, okay.
Same way I believe that you're just a spirit, sucked up in a vacuum, and stuck in a human body. Got it? Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So I
There's a
know
spaceship waiting. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool, cool.
Oh, and I got to give you half my income. Oh, all right.
Yeah. What do you need that for? I didn't even understand. What do you need that
So
for?
funny. I think I don't know. I think organized religions are hilarious.
I think it's organized religion is a way to control. It's a tool to control. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah, anything to control the human populace. It's a
Absolutely.
great way to do it. It worked for a while, but
Absolutely, because if
I
I
think
tell you
children
when you
have awoken.
die, it's gonna get better. So
I
do what I
think
say
that-
now.
yeah. So that whole so that's the thing. Like it's kind of one of those things. It's like, okay, well, Jesus is supposed to come back. What is he waiting on? Now's a good fucking time.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody's
I don't like
losing
that
their
idea.
shit. Fucking
gotta
world's
sit
going
back
to
and
chaos.
just wait.
We record more shit going on in the world now between jealousy, envy,
Mm-hmm.
greed, lust, gluttony, name it. All the sins, all of them. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, what's he waiting on?
Right.
That's what makes me angry. I'm like, where was you, Jesus, doing slavery? Where was you at, my guy?
That.
Right.
Where was
Yeah.
you at?
And there and,
We
at-
needed
and
you.
there's still some forms of slavery going on in
Right
the world
now.
Right
now. So it's like, where are you? Where are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, he kept them safe, did he? Where?
Did he really?
Yeah.
because a
But
lot
one
of people
thing about
died.
But the one thing about
If somebody broke into my house, raped my daughter, and then left, I don't think I did a good job as a parent. So I don't know what your idea of.
But even as a parent, you left a loaded gun in front of your kid and say, "Hey, don't touch that."
Yeah,
and then
that
walked
part.
away.
Yeah, that part too. Yeah, but just to say shit like that, just I don't know. That irks me.
It's in God's hands now.
Yeah.
I don't. He be taking too long. And that may
Yeah.
sound blasphemous, but it's the truth. Like,
I
what you
don't
waiting
care.
on, my guy?
Right.
This is my podcast. Say what the fuck you want. It's
I'm
my
like,
podcast. Damn it.
well, I
You
get
say
a room full
whatever.
of Christians. I'm like, hey, you guys. So I don't agree. Let's start there. I don't want to make you upset. But I don't
And
think
then
we
on
should
the
talk about
third
this.
day, he
'Cause-
rose. And I was like, yeah, where's my rocks?
Where's my rocks? Do you like my rocks?
I know it sounds like a made up story, but it's not. It's 100%
I believe.
true.
I 100% believe you.
That's 100%.
As a kid, that makes sense though. I want my rocks. Like you playing with in my face. How you tell me them your friend rocks? Them man.
Yeah.
Give them back.
Yeah.
I'm not dumb.
P.S. Never got him back. So,
I'm
also
gonna get you
that.
some rocks.
I-
I'm gonna get
my
you some
wife has jars of rocks. I'm good.
rocks. Like, look, I made it better.
Every crystal you could think of, she
and
has.
she's a smart woman.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing is, so when are you gonna drop your podcast though? I'm really interested
Next
because I
week,
want to watch.
I want to start. I'm gonna do a lot of pick a card tarot readings
Yeah.
because a lot of my things, and I want to do basic chart breakdowns. For
You gonna do a
people.
reading for us?
If y'all, I didn't bring my cards. Y'all got some cards?
I got 3 decks.
Go get one.
That's
I'm
a
dead
bet.
ass.
We'll do it later. We'll do it.
Okay.
After. We don't have to be here. But I was just.
I'm with
curious.
it. You
Yeah.
know, I ain't scared. But yeah, I'm gonna do pick a card readings. So those will be basically I'll have 3 different readings. I'll start each reading with a crystal, and I'll show the crystals. You go to the reading that correlates with that crystal, and you take what applies to you because it's for a large group. So everything isn't gonna apply, but what does apply, you take it. And then if you want to book me personally, then you can from there. So a lot of pick a cards. I want to do astrology readings. I love those online. So basically, you would look up your sun, your moon, and your rising. That's what we call your big 3 in astrology. Because those are the 3 things in your birth chart that you probably see more often than anything else.
What I find funny about astrology and the big 3 you're talking about is the moon, sun, and rising. Is that we followed this for eons. And now that it's become to light, it's kind of like, I don't know, it feels like, I don't know, I feel like I'm like a dad that's just proud of their kids. When I
Yeah.
go online and I see a lot of people that are like, you know, like doing things,
Right.
and
So
they're
proud of
starting
you.
to walk that pagan walk, or they're moving to where their ancestors started, and I look back and I'm just like,
That was almost
so
always my
proud.
thing. I was like, what were the
so
slaves
proud of you.
doing before they forced Christianity down their throats?
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to do.
yeah, no, I want to do that because I don't agree with Christianity at
Yeah.
I just knew it wasn't it. The results ain't. The math ain't mathing.
Right? Yeah, that's how. Yeah, something's wrong.
all. I agree with you.
It's
Like,
just
if
not
this was
enough.
it,
And
then we'd be more
arguing with the
prosperous.
Christian is one of the most unhealthy things you can do. I think that the best thing to do is just walk away. Because
Like I
you're
said, I
not
wouldn't
going to
even
get
bring
where
it
you
up.
want. You're not going to get the results you want. And after a while, I just start agreeing with them.
What I think
If they, like, I'm sorry, but if they tell me, like, 2 + 2 is 5, I'm just like, you damn right.
You're right, because you got to carry that win.
You got to carry that one.
Mhm.
You know-
Yeah. And then you got to subtract by that 3,
Yup.
and you're going to end up
That's
with the
it right
5.
there.
So, yeah, you got it.
Mhm.
Yep. And I just walk away from it because I don't
Yeah.
want to hear it.
I don't want to, because I feel like sometimes the truth without empathy is brutal.
yeah.
It is.
It's an attack. I can be completely honest with you and break you,
Right.
and that's not my goal ever.
No, not here.
I want to give people the information when they're ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not going
Because I was that guy. Like, moving away from the church is not easy.
Mhm.
It's not an easy task. It's
No.
not something that you can do. You're going to lose a lot of friends. You're going to lose a lot of family members. You're going to lose a lot of people along your way. You're going to see shells of people along your path.
You're
But
gonna
when
get
you
called
look back at it
crazy.
at one point, you're going to understand why you did it.
Yeah.
Because
you're
it's
gonna-
not for everybody, but it is
not.
for you.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I feel like Christianity, if you don't take it literally, is a very beautiful religion.
No, I mean, that's the thing. I've said that here. I agree with a lot of things. Thou shalt not kill. Hey,
That's
all right.
We can agree on that. We
Yeah.
can agree on that.
Yeah. Don't fuck your neighbor's wife. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Be a decent human being. I can do
Absolutely.
that. I
That's-
like that one.
Mhm.
That sounds good, right?
It's just when you start getting to the details.
But you start
I'm
getting
like,
into the bigotry. You know what I mean? Because
It's
there's
the whole
not a-
idea that the God literally sacrificed himself to himself.
So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's weird.
It's like, why would you need to do that?
Like when you look at my religion, it's like, okay, Odin sacrificed himself for the runes. That's how we got him. That makes sense.
Yeah.
In a mythological sense, that makes more sense than sacrificing yourself to yourself, by yourself, for yourself, for everyone. But then, for some reason, we have to give you money.
Right. Like, what?
Like, what? Wait, what?
My thing that got me that I was like, I think I'm good. I like this is Christianity. I'm like, okay. So it was when we was in Bible study, and I know the lady who was having the service or the class was getting mad with me. She was breaking it down. She was like, yeah, you can ask for forgiveness, and God will forgive your sins. And I was just like, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, so I could sin, right?
Right.
I could sin, knowingly sin, ask for forgiveness, I could be forgiven. I can go sin again, ask for forgiveness, I can be forgiven.
So-
Ask it and constantly do that, and I'm
So
like, but
technically,
wait,
no.
what?
So technically, no. What the sin and forgiveness thing is like,
Mm-hmm.
let's say that you're a rapist, right?
Right.
I'm going to use an overly exaggerated example
Right.
to make a point, right?
Right.
Let's say you're a rapist and you
Right.
raped like 20 women in your life,
Right.
and you go to the church and
Mm.
you ask for forgiveness. You will be forgiven
Right.
as long as you never do that again.
No, you'll still be forgiven.
Right,
if you
but
do it
okay,
again.
okay, I understand that. But what if
That's
it,
the
okay,
point I
no,
think
no,
they
I
were making
understand.
along-
No, according to
No,
the
no.
Bible,
Hold
as long as you
on.
ask, you're good. It
Right,
doesn't
right,
matter how
I
many times you
understand.
ask.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. I wasn't done yet. I don't need this attack.
No,
Okay?
I'm not attacking
We're
you.
not
I'm just
attacking you.
Yeah. we're not-
What I'm saying is, as long as you never, create that or do that act again,
I'm saying-
you'll be forgiven. But
Okay. Mm.
along the way, somehow that got lost, and we ended up in this. As long as you ask for forgiveness, you'll be forgiven.
Right. Because I'm like, all right,
So
let's just.
it didn't start out that way,
It didn't, because that's why Jesus died.
right?
Right. So
But it ended up
confuses me.
here. It's the same when you look at the Old Testament that they refuse to acknowledge, right? You can't
Because
wear more
honestly,
than one
because
cloth.
according to the Bible, once Jesus died, we threw the Old Testament out.
Yeah. So like
Trash.
when you look at it, like you can't wear more than one cloth. It's okay to sell your daughter. All this crazy ass shit that's in there, and it is.
Right.
You can look it up. But the thing is, they don't want to acknowledge that because it doesn't buy into their newfound ideology, which is just based on hate, really.
Is it, oh,
And
You
I
think
understand
so?
what you're saying
Yeah.
because it does get confusing.
yeah, because I'm like,
But
that
Jesus
doesn't
died
make
for
sense.
our sins. Don't like
Yeah,
in the
well,
Old Testament. That's when they were still doing sacrifices.
Right.
But once Jesus died, he became the ultimate sacrifice that covers everything. So honestly, as long as like on your deathbed, I
Could
can
you
be a
imagine?
shitty person. It's on my
deathbed,
deathbed.
I
As
can
long
ask
as I
for
ask for
forgive-
forgiveness,
yeah.
then I'm good.
Yeah, because like
good.
let's just use that example you use, right?
Right.
Let's just say I'm not going to do that again, right? I'm not a raper. I'm not going to rape anymore, right?
Totally not a raper.
I'm not a rapist.
I'm not a raper
but I'm going to
anymore.
go
I
steal,
quit.
right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go steal, right? Well, I stopped that sin, but I'm going to go sin. Knowingly, I'm sinning. I'm going to go steal, kill, whatever. I'm going to ask forgiveness. I'm good. Now, I'm not going to go do that one. Well, I'm going to go do something.
Well,
I'm
that's
going to
how-
go eat.
That's how
whatever,
a lot of people
you know?
on death row do it.
But that doesn't make sense.
You could turn to
To me, that
Christianity.
does-
See, this is
that
what I say.
doesn't
You
make
could turn to
sense to me.
Christianity
I was-
for forgiveness because it's easy. You cannot turn to spirituality because it doesn't work that way. That's
it
why they
doesn't.
don't come here. That's why when you don't see people on death row announcing they're a Norse pagan because that's not how we do things. You're not going to see people on death row worshiping who she worships, right? It doesn't
'Cause
work
you have
that
to,
way.
You have to take your actions for what you do.
Yeah,
right.
that's what
you
I'm
gotta
saying.
In my
take
lifestyle, you mess
responsibility for the
up,
things
you
you've done,
get
and
done
In
up.
Christianity, it was always like you can be forgiven, but I'm like, but if I can, let's say there's 10, let's just say there's 10 only sins, right? I start at the first one, I'm forgiven. Oh, I'm forgiven. I'm forgiven. So I can basically sin all I want to and just get forgiven each time. That's what blew my mind. I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense to me. Can someone
'cause
please
the-
slow down?
Because
and
what
just,
she was saying, the math ain't math.
yeah, I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. So
Yeah.
you're saying yes, all right, I'm not going to do this anymore, but there's more sins than just one.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I was like,
and no
that-
sin is greater than the other.
right. So I was
Right,
like,
no sin
that
is greater than
didn't
the
make
other. That was
any
the big
sense
bullshit
to
lie,
me.
yeah.
And I tried to get her to explain that, and she was just like,
She
not
can't.
having it.
We're
She
about
was
to
not-
shut this down because it's getting.
We could go on forever.
I know. We
Okay.
do this forever,
Oh,
but
wow,
I do have one thing I want to do, and we usually do top fives here.
Okay.
We like to do top five singers, top five actors, whatever.
Okay.
But this time, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to play Would You Rather.
Okay.
Like I said, okay, so I just wanted to get away from all this because we could do this forever. So the thing is about Pam being my favorite person on the internet. She really
Oh
is.
my, go ahead. Thank you so much.
I love her perspective on things. I really do. She has a different way of looking at things. It's like the third eye is all the way open. She's always looking at things in a different light, and it's one of my favorite
I
things because
appreciate
it gives me a different perspective. Even when I'm having a bad day and I see something that you post, because you post a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
you post long. You don't post like damn, that was crazy. No. It's a whole story, and I get to read
like,
it,
ding.
and I get a different perspective out of it. Yeah. That's why I have you on follow, because I'm like, as soon as you post something, I know exactly. I know
Aw,
immediately.
I appreciate that.
So anyway, I told you I'm a fan, and I can't wait for your podcast. But anyway, I wanted to do Would You Rather.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so we're gonna go in order.
Okay.
So
Okay,
we
it's
have
gonna be
one.
you, then me, and then Fred.
Got it.
Fred's gonna go last. Okay,
Yeah.
so I got one. All right, here we go. Here's number one. Would you rather lose the ability to lie, or believe everything you're told?
Lose the ability to lie.
It's easier that way, right? I feel that. So.
I'm not gonna believe. I don't want to believe everything I'm told.
Right, because then you wouldn't be where you are.
No. I try not to lie. I try not to anyway.
Yeah.
I try not to. I feel like when you lie, you're afraid. You're afraid because you're either afraid of losing someone or the consequences of your behavior. Those are the only reasons why you lie.
That's a fair point. I really agree with that one.
I was gonna-
If I
yeah.
tell you the truth, you're not
She's
going to
gonna do
talk
the
to
same.
me anymore. So
Yeah,
I'm going to
true.
lie to you
Yeah.
so you will stay.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I choose the same thing.
Or I'm going to lie to you because I don't want to get in trouble.
yeah. Right.
So if I'm doing anything I'm ashamed of, then I probably just shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
I agree.
So
I agree. Okay, we'll go to number two because I think Fred agrees with that one. And we
Yeah.
pretty much all.
Yeah.
All right. So, would you rather be without elbows or knees?
Yeah. Some of these get funny. So
They do.
I go without the elbows because I like to twerk. I need
Oh
them
my
knees.
God.
I need my knees to do that. Without elbows.
what would you
like-
say, Chris?
I said okay. Well, I said I would rather be without elbows, but it wasn't for twerking. It was more because I think I can make things work. It's so hard for me because I work with
How
my
do you
hands
drive
a
without
lot.
knees?
How do you drive with your elbow just stiff? Like you got to be all the way in the back seat to make that work.
But I feel like I could make that work.
I feel like you do that anyway. I feel like that's how you drive. I feel
I'm
like
short.
You're the this person.
I am. I'm
Yeah.
short.
What
I'm
do you
really
think,
short.
Fred?
I was gonna say I'd rather have elbows.
You rather have elbows?
So you rather go without knees?
Yeah, I'd rather go without knees because I feel like I do a lot of stuff that I do and I like to do requires me to have an elbow.
How do you get in the bed? without knees.
Yeah, I'll jump in the bed.
He's just going.
He gonna sit there and dive in.
He's just gonna jump his way out in there. All right, let's go to number 3. Okay, so number 3, I got 10 of these. So
Okay.
all right, number 3. Would you rather be able to talk to animals, or be able to read other people's thoughts?
I can already read other people's thoughts. So I would rather talk to animals. I think animals would keep it more real than humans.
That's a fair point. I never thought of it that
I've
way.
always-
I told you, man. She has
Yeah.
a different way
They
of
gonna keep more real than
seeing
humans.
things. Like,
I say
what's
yep.
up, squirrel?
Animals too. Yeah.
talk to him about. I would rather read people's thoughts. I don't have the gift Pan
You
has,
say that.
So.
You say that.
The reason is because now I get to know who I'm really around.
Because a lot of
But
people
do you
have.
really want to know?
Yes. Yes.
Because some of that stuff gets dark, man.
I'm telling
Oh,
you.
yeah. Oh, no.
Because
Ignorance
I'm
is
me.
bliss
Here's-
is
no, no,
a
no.
true
I'm me, I know.
statement. Ignorance is bliss is a true statement.
Because a lot of people. So a lot of
Look, I don't want to know. Look, I saw Dr. Doolittle, right? I've seen what happens. I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather just be able to deal with people's thoughts because at the end of the day, you ever seen What Women Want?
Oh, okay.
I would rather just be able to deal with that and be like, God, people are fucked up, than to have to deal with what animals want all
But
the time.
you don't know the level.
Yeah. Cause
Nope, I don't. But you know what? I don't know
It's
what,
like,
what
yo,
talking to
bro.
animals is going to bring either. So, to be fair, you know, it's a lose-lose on that one.
Right.
All right, here we go. All right, so number 4. When you're old, would you rather die before or after your spouse?
Before.
So,
Yeah, it is selfish. It is.
Selfish.
It's completely selfish. It's only because I watched my mama go through it.
Oh, okay.
I watched
Yeah.
my that was hard for
Yeah.
her.
so I thought I
Yeah.
put some thought into this one. I really did. I had to take a little spiritual journey and think about this one. And I think that I would rather her die first because I know I could handle it better than I think she could.
You think so?
I do. I do. I know it sounds weird because if you had to choose one or the other, you kind of think like, man, I'd rather die first. I ain't gotta deal with it.
I'd rather die first.
But in me, I'd rather her die first, so she doesn't have to deal with the pain that I'm gonna go through.
yeah, somebody's
guess
gonna.
it's a selfless way
One
of
of you
looking
is
at
gonna bury each other. That's just.
Yeah.
That's the truth of the matter with in life.
She
in
wants to go
general.
out like the Notebook. Yeah, she's one of those.
Take me with him.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like we go to sleep, we both don't wake up. She thinks that's what's going on.
I mean,
And
hey.
Me, I'm on the same boat as Chris. I rather her, my wife, go first because I know I could be able to take it. I know for her it will completely destroy every facet of
It
her
would
world.
destroy me. I know it would.
So
Yeah.
I know not to say it would destroy my world, but I feel like
You would bounce back
I
better
could,
than she would.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, for one,
Yeah.
no, I would never bounce back.
No, I wouldn't say bounce
What
back.
I
It's
would do is be able to cope, understand, and get ready for my release.
I
from
think I
this
would go immediately
planet.
after. That's why I'm like, I might as well go first.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, that happened to my granddad and my grandmama. So, like,
Yeah.
it's broken heart's a real thing. Like, my granddad died. I'm not trying to steer away, but my granddad died, and then like 2 months later, my grandmother was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I
they
don't even
lived their-
want to
almost
do
their
life
entire
with.
lives
I don't
together,
even
so-
know how to do life without you anymore. I don't want
Right.
to.
see that's
I don't
kind of
even want
what.
to.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's
too.
kind of what.
Yeah.
So like, just let me go first.
All right.
I'll go
let's-
first.
Let's get out of this dark area.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. So number 5, would you rather be able to breathe underwater or fly through air?
Fly through air. The ocean scares me.
Ocean scares me too.
There's so much there that we don't even know about yet.
But if you breathe, if you could breathe in water, you could find that out.
I don't know if I want to. Once again, with when you have spiritual gifts, you learn that ignorance really is bliss. Some stuff I don't even want to know. I'm like, I don't want to know this. I don't want to know. I'm cool.
That's fair.
I'm
Fair.
cool. But if I could fly, I ain't care about gas prices.
You got me.
That part,
You got
that's
me.
what I was just
Yep,
about to
yep.
say.
You got me.
No, I was just
I
about
want to
to say that. I
fly.
was like, that was my joke coming up, and you took it
Gas
from me.
price.
I want to fly.
See, that's
Bam.
that reading minds thing. She read my mind, and then
I
she was like,
did.
"I'm gonna take his punchline."
I am. Gas prices. Let me fly.
She
that's
got
what
me.
yeah, that's
Yep,
what
I wanna fly.
I want to fly because
I
gas
wanna
prices too damn
fly.
high. That was my joke. All right. Well, moving on. All right. All right. Number 6. Would you rather be the ugliest person in the world or smell the worst?
Ugly. Cause I feel like what Jay-Z said, I'm a billionaire. I'm at least cute.
To somebody. Yeah.
To somebody.
But
Yeah.
if you stink, hey, ain't too much you can do with that.
Yeah,
No.
true. I've met some stanky people.
Because
I'm just
you think about it, if you smell the worst, that means soap don't work.
And then the worst is a key word. Like you don't smell
Yeah,
bad.
You smell the
You
worst.
smell the worst.
And I've smelled some funky shit in my life.
And they worse
So,
than that.
They worse than that, yeah. So I would rather just be the ugliest
I be
person.
ugly.
yeah,
Ugly.
ugly too.
But I got a coin. I got a coin though, and I smell good.
What about you?
Ugly.
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 Yeah, all right.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Okay, so number 7. Would you rather lose the ability to sing completely or be forced to break out into an uncontrollable dance every time someone so much as hums?
I want to dance.
But it's uncontrollable, so
It's
you can't.
But I
Controllable.
do that anyway. If y'all know me in real life, that's me anyway.
Yeah, that's
Nothing
true.
really changes.
I say
That is
I say lose. I can't sing. I do like to sing along with my songs, but I'll just be. So I'd rather sing because I want to be able to control my dance moves. I don't want to just be out there.
Yeah, because see, that's the part that
Like,
threw me off really was when it said uncontrollably.
Nah, I'm good.
Which means like you might be like one of the white people at the club in like a 90s movie
right?
where they have no
I'm
rhythm.
cool with that. I bet I'm unforgettable.
Yeah, fair
Oh,
enough.
true. Because people
There's
go to
that girl that
remember.
be dancing.
Yeah, because I still remember. I was never understood, like, why are we the only ones that can't dance? Like, what the fuck? Like, Mexicans got it down. Black folk got it down. Fucking Indians got
It's
it down.
skipped
They even
y'all.
created their own little circle dance.
It's
we doing
y'all short thing.
whatever.
You gotta catch that the 2 and the 4, not the 1 and the 3.
That's some bullshit.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, number 8. Would you rather be able to change one event in your past or have one literal get out of jail free card?
Give me the get out of jail free card.
I said the same thing.
I said change.
need that.
I said change one thing in my past.
You said change one thing in your past.
Yeah, just because I feel like I wouldn't be putting myself. Cause if I had a get out of jail free card, I'll be more lenient to be like, I'm gonna try to. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna make
You
that
only
junk
get
count.
one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
make that
it
junk
count.
count, son.
Yeah.
So like, I'm gonna be like,
Run up on me if you want to. I gotta get out of jail free
I'm
card.
thinking about the coin. I'm finna run up a tab,
oh, okay.
and then I got my card.
Do Ponzi schemes and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, no, so like I get what you're saying, but
Mm.
my thing is like I told you, like I'm really big into that type of thing.
Mm.
And I understand that altering one thing in your past could literally alter your entire future.
Entire life.
So I would rather just get out of jail free card. I'm cool with that. It would have helped me out a
I ask
lot.
myself all
I
the
still
time,
take
like
that
when I
risk.
moved to Memphis. I'm sorry to divert, but I moved to
Yeah.
Memphis. When I moved to Memphis, I met my first husband, had my kids, all that. That choice to moving to Memphis had literally altered my life
Same here.
Yeah.
in a way that I
Yeah.
didn't see
Yeah,
coming.
Same here.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what would happen if I didn't move to Memphis. I thought about like, what if I never moved to Memphis? What would my life look like?
I've told my wife.
But I don't want to know.
I've told my wife this, that if I could change it, I would. And she was like, "But you would never meet me." And I'm like, "I love you, but like, I
love
seen
you,
what,
man.
like, literally, he
Right.
knows I was straight A's and B's. I was literally step footing into going to college,
Right.
and moving to Memphis. One decision completely wrecked that.
Mm-hmm.
Because my
I
mom,
agree.
like,
Yeah.
you're going to your GED as soon as I got there. Like, no, like, that
Yeah.
completely shifted where
Everything.
I was. Yeah, it
Yeah.
completely shifted my direction.
I was in college, transferred to U of M, and
Yeah, so
yeah,
I love her, but, like, I would love to, I would like to
I was the only one that kept it real in this table when I said fuck college, bro. I'm not that guy.
I was that girl.
I tried the school thing. I hate school. I learned more on the streets than I do in school.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Number 9. Would you rather accidentally be responsible for the death of a child or accidentally be responsible for the death of 2 adults?
2 adults.
See?
I don't know, bro. I'm stuck at this, bro. I don't know. Because, yes, it's a child, but at the same time, it's 2. It's one more than one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the adults have. What if the shitty adults? But then again,
But
what if
what-
the child's a serial killer?
Right. What if it's a serial killer in the making? Like, I
Somebody
don't know.
saved Hitler from drowning, so.
Like,
I'll
can
let
I
you
meet
know.
the people first?
That's right. Can I meet him? Can I have a sit down with the baby? I just want to see what he's
Right.
about.
Let me see.
I think this baby knows how to
don't-
I just feel
actually
like
baby.
children. I just see children as so innocent.
do too.
They are pure, and with time they become unpure.
But there's some children that do crazy stuff.
That's why I want to meet the baby.
So it's like, I don't know, man.
Before I make my decision.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I would, if I had to say, I'd rather. I don't know, it's gonna sound fucked up. I'd rather kill a kid. Just because of the numbers game. I'm going numbers. 1 versus 2. So that's. I'm killing one to save two instead of killing two to save one.
I get the logic of it. I do. I really do get your logic.
But
But
them
I
grown up, they
couldn't.
lived a little.
I couldn't bring.
They lived a little bit more. Let the kid go.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so number 10 and the last one. This is one of my favorites. Would you rather have a golden voice or a silver tongue?
Silver tongue.
Explain.
A gift of gab. You love that?
The gift of gab can get you into rooms that your voice probably your golden voice may not be able to get you into.
I'm gonna let you go. What about that? What you think?
Explain.
So the gift of gab, the silver tongue, is basically being able to talk anybody into anything.
Okay, and
Like
then
a salesman, like a really good salesman. You ever
Right.
walked into something and bought something you didn't understand
I
why?
ain't
Right.
even
Salesman
talking about
got you.
this. If you
Right.
walk over,
Yeah,
how did
yeah.
Salesman
how
got
did
you.
he get me?
So like it's a good. He got to get the gab.
And then
and then
the-
a golden voice is to be able to have a voice of like an angel. Like you could just sing
like
better than,
let's
you
just
know,
say Mariah Carey. When in her prime, she was
Oh yeah,
Right.
She was that girl.
Yeah, so like
she was
that.
that girl.
you know, you'd have like a Sam Smith voice.
true. Oh,
So
I
which
rather
one?
I rather.
Now silver tongue, they can talk you out
Damn,
of
that's
anything.
I guess a silver tongue. I guess I'd rather have a silver tongue.
They can talk you into anything or out of anything.
So
I
if
said the
something
silver tongue
I could,
too.
and I would probably use it to my advantage. Like let's say someone's trying to do some
Absolutely.
harm to me, I'm talking you
Oh,
out
yeah.
of it, and they're like, "You're right," and I'm like, "Thank
Mhm.
you, sir."
Yeah, so that's what I said. I said the silver
silver
tongue
tongue.
because there's so many people out there that have a lot of talent that aren't being discovered,
Right.
but there's not a lot of
Because they
people
don't
out
let
there.
ugly folks sing. We don't care what they have
Yeah,
to
but
say.
I've seen some people. No, I swear I've seen some people who, by the norm,
least I don't
are
smell bad.
not pretty, but their voice was better than everybody.
They
I
say music
swear.
was better
Yeah.
when they let ugly people do it too.
Yeah.
And that's very true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with beautiful voices, but they don't have the rest of the package, so they won't get anywhere.
Right. I said silver tongue because, well, you know, that goes.
But if you
without
got
saying.
silver tongue, I'm still finna.
Yeah.
I ain't even gotta be able to sing.
I get a record deal, not even be able to sing.
Exactly.
'Cause I got a silver tongue.
Boom.
Yeah. What's up now?
And there's a few people in the game right now. That got
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot of people.
They got more
that
than a
get
silver
that
tongue.
right
Heck. That's your business.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I think that's it. I think we're gonna wrap it
I'm
up.
gonna let her shout her out.
Shout out to Instagram,
Facebook.
Oh,
whatever
you can
all
follow
that
me at Pamas Davis on Facebook. It's Pam the Pony on Instagram. And check for Equipment Coin on YouTube. My YouTube channel will be going live next week officially.
I can't
Okay.
wait. I can't wait. I think that's it, right?
Yeah. All right. All right.
we
Peace
outta
out.
here.
We out.
Bye.
Peace, What
up, world?
Appreciate you tuning in. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down at the bottom below.
Yep.
Make sure to hit the notification bell so you get notified anytime new videos upload. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and now I have a brand new website.
Right.
It's www.whatupent.com. Check it out.
And it will also be in the descriptions. All right. And we're out.
The descriptions.